everybody, welcome back to Pixel Junkies.
Oh my god,
You're listening
Roy.
to the Pixel Junkies podcast.
How do you do that every time?
Roy's like the best at intro.
Catching everyone off guard. I say,
Right.
oh my god, at
Come
the
to
beginning
just
of
my
every
seat
podcast.
and like, hey everybody, welcome back to the Big Doggy Packet!
Alright, so this is gonna restart.
Oh,
This is episode 145.
No.
And it's
no,
our
no,
year in
no.
review show.
No.
Rory.
This is not okay.
well, it's not okay, Jordan.
This needs a restart.
Dude, are you sure this isn't 145?
That's 144.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Says it on your screen.
It says right here.
I was getting all hyped up for 145.
All plebbed out.
Rory, we can't do the big 145 yet.
The podcast hasn't started yet.
Yes, it is.
Clearly has.
No, it hasn't.
When I was-
I'm going to fucking reaffirm that.
It'd be so funny if we went through the whole podcast and Jordan is still convinced that it hasn't started yet.
So, this year we're going to do something a little bit...
re-intro. Jesus Christ.
This year we're doing something a little bit different.
No.
And instead of doing the
I'm gonna hit
traditional thing
spacebar on this motherfucker.
where we...
you got to restart.
That doesn't matter if you stop the audio. All this is still in the podcast.
Yeah.
Delete it.
Okay,
So
what do you want
this
to
year
do?
when we
Rory.
started...
Rory?
Rory? No, Jordan.
Start over again.
Stop. So, usually
Bro,
what
you
we...
need to start over
Jordan,
again.
shut the fuck up.
You gotta start over again.
For what? Start over for what?
Yeah.
So it's fucking correct.
Anyways, Jordan. Usually when we do this year in review show, we do like our top movies
This
and
is
top
bullshit.
games. And then Andrew this year has decided to turn things around and throw us all off our game.
It's
That's
why
Rory, like Rory does introducing the podcast every goddamn fucking week.
he's not wrong.
Well, he wouldn't know. He's never on it.
Oh shit! Oh, hang on! Gotta rub some water on the burn.
No. There's a reason I'm not on this.
Shut
Does
Sure.
water
On
do much for
podcast.
burns?
Yes, actually.
Makes
Depending
them
on it depends on
Does
the
make them wet.
on the type of burn. So if it's a very severe burn, then it wouldn't do a lot. But if it's a very mild burn, then it would because it takes the heat out of it. It has to be cold water. That's
What about hot salt water?
that would not be
That
great
helps.
for a burn.
That helps.
Gasoline is the best.
First aid with Rory.
You were a first aider.
A first aider? Is that what it's called?
Technically, yes, that is what it's called.
Oh, that should come up with something else.
I agree, and it bothered me for a long time.
They should call it first aids because you're the person with the first aids.
To be honest,
This is why we have you on the podcast.
This is why you should restart the podcast.
I'm glad this isn't like the longest show of the year, and we've yet to do anything.
Hey, so
Related.
here's how I'm mixing things up as your...
Welcome to episode 144 of the Pixel Junkies podcast.
Alright, that's enough now, Jordan.
As your podmaster, Andrew, here's how we do
Fuck's
this.
sakes.
I've got a big old list of games, which I have to get to here.
Did you have the movies one up?
Yeah,
Okay.
of games released in 2017.
Can you do audio pickup for Hideo Kojima for one of his games? Like I have this Metal Gear. Metal Gear. That's right. Metal Gear.
So instead of each of us going around and saying what we've played and each of us talking for 40 minutes, I'm going to go through a big old list of games
And then traditionally me only talking for 2 minutes. 'cause
Yeah.
It's an hour and a half long.
because we run out of time or he just gets cut off.
Unbiased.
I'm just going to go through this list of games, and if nobody has played the game, we move on. There is no further discussion, regardless of how popular that game may or may not be. If we do get to a game that one of us has played, the person that has played it in a clockwise motion gets to describe.
Starting from who?
Well,
starting
the
at
clock,
Aaron, the clock?
Well, no, Aaron is at like 2 o'clock here.
No, my family
I'm at
asked
the
me when
end
I was
again.
leaving my dinner
So yes,
today.
clockwise.
Alright, starting
Starting at
clockwise,
Aaron.
starting from Aaron.
My
Yeah.
family was asking me as I was leaving my dinner today and saying, where are you going? I'm going to do a podcast. And they were like, oh, is it anything we'd be interested in listening to? And I thought for a second, but the answer was no.
So hi, Adam's parents.
So Aaron will get first dibs on video games
Well,
that he has
Mike.
played.
There's not many.
Yeah, and he'll get to describe a little bit about the game, and then we'll move on to anybody else that has played the game. We'll see how this goes. This might be a dumpster fire.
Total debacle.
All right. Starting with the first game, according to Google, Resident Evil 7.
No one played.
No one's played it.
I will say
I've seen
that
My cousin played it. And I have some third-person experience.
I didn't play the whole thing. I only played a small section of it because
So you have played it.
I played the first little bit in the house. I haven't played the full game, but I have.
Did you play the game or did you play the demo?
I played the game.
Okay.
It was alright. I mean, I don't want to say anything else about it because I didn't play the full thing. But from what I've seen and read about it, it did seem like really cool. So, but obviously I didn't play this on the list. But I
haven't played it either. But I saw some gameplay of it, and the only reason I would mention it is because none of the other Resident Evil games really seemed interesting to me. This one seemed more my thing, but it's going in the right direction at least.
Totally.
So.
Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Anybody got a Switch?
No.
Or a Wii U?
Actually, I played it very, very briefly at my cousin's house over Christmas.
I will say that my friends, Jeff and Trish, who they played it both because they both have a Switch, and they're really into Nintendo and they really love Legend of Zelda. It's like their favorite game series. They both played it and loved it. They said it was one of the best in the series.
You have a Wii U, do you not, Andrew?
I do, yeah. I don't have Zelda.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They played it for Switch, I should point out.
Apparently there's like an emulator of it as well.
Yeah, the new emulator is capable of
cool.
running it at 60 FPS.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Which
now
is
That's actually awesome.
For free?
About 55
Can you show me
frames
how to do that?
more
You're
than
stealing
the
it.
Switch is available.
Are you a criminal?
Can I
Are
do
you
that,
asking
Mac?
me to do an illegal thing here?
This is one who gets the emails from Bill.
Hey, now. No, I use a VPN for that shit now. Hey!
Shout out.
Horizon
Shout out.
Zero Dawn.
No
Has
one played it.
anybody played this?
I played it, and
haven't
Aaron
played
played
it.
the shit out of it.
I haven't played it.
No.
I want to play it, and I haven't got around to it.
Aaron, you got
Cat-
first dibs in it clockwise.
Oh,
You're at
man.
2 o'clock here.
Actually,
Come
can I
on.
go first? Because Aaron definitely
Yeah.
has a lot more to say. I haven't played. I just want to.
Who is the
Adam
podmaster
gives
here?
literally no fuck about your rules. Like, he's broken all of them already.
Well,
Hey, Adam, when you become podmaster, you may make the rules.
Okay.
Aaron, what are your thoughts on Horizon Zero Dawn?
I love it. Love the story. Love the gameplay. Some of it has issues. The swimming controls could be better. But just for a AAA game in 2017 to be a single player only kind of pseudo RPG action adventure experience with an actual like legitimate expansion that came out for it almost a year later is awesome, and I love it. Play it. Good story.
From what I haven't beaten it yet, I had to put it down because it was my 4th open world survival game in a row, and I got burnt out. And
Open world fatigue was a major issue this year.
Yes, however, I regret playing this one last. I would have wanted, if I had my time back, I would have played this one before I played Mass Effect Andromeda. So I wouldn't have gotten that fatigue because of what I played. It was absolutely brilliant. I've noticed the swimming control so much, but the combat is great, very intuitive. Each battle with a mechamole feels in depth. And it feels like like a struggle. It's not like when you get in high levels on an RPG. And,
Skyrim and Dragons?
Yeah, where you just start torturing them. Like every fight with a mechamole feels like a mini boss fight.
You get 2, Adam. Don't say Macamole a third time.
We have a whole series of me saying mechamole.
It's true.
And from what I've seen so far, the story is great. By far the best looking game from a AAA perspective. It doesn't win best visuals from. It wins best visuals for me, but it's not my favorite looking game.
That's
But I do want to say that this is for a realistic kind of thing, even on because that's what we're playing it on now. Even on the PlayStation 4, this is and then not a pro or anything. This is the regular old PlayStation. This is an absolutely fantastic looking game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic game. Voice acting is great. Everything about this game is great. If it has any flaws, they're very minor ones. This is definitely one of the greatest games of this generation.
It's a shame nobody here has played Zelda because there are a lot of parallels between this game and Zelda.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah,
there was
I
a lot
played
of the
it
problem with
briefly.
this game is, and it didn't affect it as much as I thought, but this game did come out very shortly after or before, I think it was before Zelda, and I think a lot of people got mad at this game because they're like, oh, you're just trying to hype on Zelda's thing, and I don't think this game was at all.
Well, this game was in development for 7 years, so I really
Yeah.
don't think it was just convenience.
Games take too long to be, like, immediate rip-offs.
Yeah.
The,
Unless it's very obviously a ripoff.
well, yeah, but usually those come about later.
Yeah.
Unless you, like, rush something out the door really quickly.
I will say, I do plan on getting a Switch at some point in a couple of years down the line when the price drops a lot, and then maybe even getting a second-hand one when it's cheaper. And the two games right now that I absolutely must play, that I really want to play for the Switch are Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey,
Yeah.
which Super Mario Odyssey, from what I heard, is one of the best games Nintendo has ever made, if not the best game Nintendo has ever made, by all accounts.
Made a lot
Everyone
of people's
loves it.
game of the year.
Yeah. I think the only other game that's come close to beating that Odyssey for Game of the Year has been Horizon Zero Dawn for many people. Anyway, this next game.
Yeah, okay. Nier Automata.
I wanted to play it, but
Me
I
too.
didn't. Yeah, that's my number one that I probably want to play, though.
That made Jim Sterling's Game of the Year list.
I saw a guy on the speedrun thing play it one-handed.
Sheldon on fucking Big Bang Theory?
That's
Yeah,
Jim
Jim
Parsons. Jim Sterling is the game critic.
Same guy.
Same guy.
Destiny
Bazinga.
2!
I played that. I really did enjoy Destiny 2. It still has the same great gameplay. Shut your fucking mouth. That the first one had. It was, the shooting controls are perfect. The combat flows really well. Everything about the weight of the weapons, the way you move, the way enemies move and react, it all feels really, really good. The story is much improved over the story in the first game in that it has one, and it's actually not that bad of a story. There's a lot of really interesting characters and locations that you get to go to. My personal favorite being Titan, the moon of Titan, in orbit around Saturn. That's a really, really interesting place because it's a big water planet and you're on a bunch of like these oil platforms bopping around.
So do you like it?
Yeah, I do like it here, and it's visually very impressive. Not quite to this extent, but it still looks great, and it ran really, really well. Which for a AAA game in this age is on release date, it's kind of unheard of. Where when I played it pretty much day one, and it ran perfectly. Like I think I maybe in my entire run through, which took maybe 20 hours, I had maybe one graphical hiccup that I noticed, and I never crashed once or anything.
So
like
a very technically sound video game.
Yes. A few problems that exist. A lot of the game is still locked behind the fact that you need at least 2 other people and at most 5 other people to play a lot of the end game content, which is where a lot of the fun in this game is. There's not nearly as much grinding in this game, and honestly, and they did add in microtransactions, which you do notice them in the game, but you really don't need them, but they're there, and it's scummy, so I don't like them, but you don't need them, but they're there, so it's always like that little nibbling thing in the back of your mind.
Because if you ask a lot of people on the internet, yeah, you kind of do.
I found that if you
And there's a constant push for them.
There is a constant push for them, but I found if I just played the game enough, like, and not even to the extent of GTA where like you're grinding and grinding. If I played the game, I would level up quite frequently enough where every play session, like every hour or 2 hour play session, I would get a new loot box and get good quality gear from it, which is how you level up past level 20. It is, it is scummy and noticeable, so I mean that's obviously takes points off, and they don't have a lot of variety in enemies anymore, so they added in some new
did they take stuff away, or is there just like
a
lot of additional stuff?
Well, I think there's only like 3 or 4 new enemy types in the game, whereas in the first game had all of the new enemies because it was the first one.
Yeah.
And that was a bit disappointing. This felt less like Destiny 2 and more like Destiny 1 the expansion.
Sure, yeah.
And I have not played the Trials of Osiris expansion yet because
they have an expansion already?
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep.
And the expansion locked out all the endgame content for players.
That's good.
And there's also been a couple of other big controversies surrounding this game, which obviously bring it down.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know about that one, though.
From a gameplay perspective of itself and from just a story point, it's fine, but everything else surrounding it takes it down for me. So, yeah.
So this one won't be making your top list?
No, it does not.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
No.
Gross.
Pass, please.
Jordan, have you played it?
Dude, I don't even own a PC.
It's on Xbox One now.
Yeah, he played at 2
I
frames
don't
a
have an
second.
Xbox either. I don't have an Xbox.
Super Mario Odyssey, nobody's played.
I played it.
Have you?
Have
I
you
played,
played it?
Played it over Ben's house.
Any good?
It's fucking deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
it's,
heard
it's
nothing but good
64
things.
like 2.0.
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
I've,
man,
I've heard
Nintendo
people compare it
redoing
to
a
Mario
thing?
64 and Mario Sunshine quite favorably, and even Mario Galaxy, which was my favorite Mario game.
Mario 64 is one of the few Mario games I really liked.
Oh, it's so good. And it's world basis, and it's you collect like I think it's stars. I don't know. Moons, yeah. So it's cool. It's awesome.
Cool. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus.
Didn't get to play that one. It was on my list, but it's by this
You
year.
did? No.
I've played it. Aaron, you've played it?
Have not played it yet.
Alright,
I heard
I
it was
played it.
very buggy at launch, so I'm waiting.
It was a little buggy at launch, yeah. I turned down some of the graphical settings and I got it running at a fairly stable frame rate.
What was the stable frame rate?
60.
Okay, yeah.
I had to turn it down from
You
like...
wanted to turn it up past 60 frames a second?
No, I had everything enabled graphically, and it was running well below 60.
Oh.
So I turned some things down and then got it up to a playable frame rate. It's real good. The story is fantastic. The gameplay is... It feels a little different from the first Wolfenstein in terms of the shooting. It actually feels a little more like older Starbreeze games, by which I mean Chronicles of Riddick and The Darkness. Feels a little more like those than...
No, probably won't.
Yeah. But once you get used to that, it's a super good action game with an incredible story.
I've heard the story is like the highlight of the game.
Oh yeah, by far. Some of the things it does in the game, it's mind blowing. You will be open jawed when you play it. When you see it.
Open jawed. I like that.
It's real good.
Can I make a slight change to your formula here, Podmaster?
Yes.
Adam's learned how to adapt to the.
I've at the end, because there's a few games I don't think are gonna be on your list.
Yep.
I'd like that I've played.
It's not my list, but yeah.
On the list,
Yeah.
and I'd like to mention those, and also I have a few honorable mentions from games that I played this year that came out last year that would have made my list last year, but
Sure.
I played them this year.
That was the plan, anyways. Was
Okay.
after this, if there was anything extra that needed to be said, we'd do
okay.
it. We'll do the same with
And
movies when time
I think
comes,
we might do like a collective, hey, this is the game
so now that
everyone
we've
has
figured
played
it
out-
and we recommend the most. So
Stop
this-
that what you're
questioning
saying, Jordan?
Podmaster Flex's.
Now that
word.
we figured out what the podcast is going to be about, can we finally intro it?
Cuphead.
Me and Aaron have played that. Aaron, do you want to go first?
Fucking Jesus Christ!
Have you played it?
It's
No, it's not out for anything. Except for one fucking console.
Except for, yeah.
Bullshit.
it's a beautiful game that is. All right, fuck off, Siri. That's designed for people who like to hate themselves.
Yeah, Siri.
So, in terms of gameplay, I don't know that it really does anything revolutionary. The art is nice, but it's very much just like kind of an homage to older platformer boss games, which is nice, and I like the art, but I don't know that it's really new. Like, I mean, if you strip away the visuals and just put like a pixel art thing on it, then it's kind of just, generic gameplay wise. But it's fun if you like hating yourself.
I thought it was like Aaron. The visuals are obviously very impressive, even more so when you consider the fact that they're all animated by hand every frame. I think Dunkley did a really good video where he analyzed
Donkey.
whatever.
Dunkley! Oh, you can't spell Dunkley without DUI!
Anyway,
There's no
when
I
you
in it, but okay.
where he analyzed a single frame of anime, like a single move that a boss did, and had something like 30 or 40 frames of animation for a single motion of the arm, and so it's really impressive the amount of effort that went into the visuals. So I must be said, the visuals it's not going to win my favorite game visually of the year, and the only reason why it isn't is because
Horizon Zero Dawn already has.
Well, okay, my favorite looking game of the year, and the only reason it is because everyone else has already picked Cuphead as their the best looking game of the year, and I want to give a shout out to a game that I think has been overlooked that we will probably get to later on, but it's very the animation is very impressive. I agree with Aaron where the gameplay is very generic, and for the most part that it works. It's very simple. You're either running a
Yeah,
shooting
it's not a criticism,
No.
but it doesn't do anything new.
There are a few hiccups I have. Sometimes the hit detection is a little off, and in a game, it wouldn't matter in, say, Mario, but in a game like this where you have to be very precise with how you jump and stuff, it does matter, because the game is so brutally hard. And the game is very hard, so if you don't like a really hard challenge game, you're probably not going to enjoy Cuphead. But I do say it is one of the best indie games to come out this year, and is certainly, like, the developers, which is a very small team from what I've read. I think only like 5 people, and like the 2 lead guys are brothers who have been working on this game for for 7 years or something like that. They should be applauded for the amount of effort and work they put into this game, because it really is a quality, polished game for the price it is. So absolutely pick it up.
So would this be on either of your top lists?
Yeah, it's probably on one of my top lists.
I was waiting for fucking ever for that game, and then found out no, it's not on PlayStation.
It's on Steam. It's on Steam.
That doesn't matter to me.
You can probably play it on your laptop. It's not an intensive
I have a
game.
Mac.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's out for OS.
If it has Mac support, you can probably play it.
iOS, sorry.
How much? I'll figure it out.
I think $20, is it?
Yeah, it was like $16 or something.
Assassin's Creed Origins.
Me and Andrew both played that, I believe.
Yeah. Would you like to go first?
Oh yeah, because I haven't played nearly as much of it as
Counterclockwise,
as
you all fucked up already.
Yeah, well, it's been this
I know.
way since we
I know.
started.
It's just...
Go ahead.
Well, technically, if you start at you and we go counterclockwise, no, yeah, so it is me.
you go ahead.
Yeah. I haven't beat it because I only got it for Christmas, so I'm a good ways into the game now. It's really good. As soon as I haven't played any Assassin's Creed games really since, like, beaten it all the way through since 3 because I got burnt out of the series. So as soon as I started to play this game again, it started to come back why I loved, Assassin's Creed 2, and 1, and especially 2, and the others. It's still the same gameplay, although it has been significantly tweaked and upgraded, so it flows a bit better. From what I've seen of the story so far, it's really interesting, and I love the setting of the ancient Egyptian setting, because that's not really a setting that you see a lot in video games, where you see a lot of ancient Egypt ruins, but you don't see a lot of ancient Egypt as Egypt. So that's very, very interesting. It's, in terms of, it still has a lot of the open world Ubisoft problems, where I feel like it's an open world with not a lot in it. You can hunt animals for upgrades and that kind of thing, and there are a lot of collect-a-thon missions and stuff, but
it's
not
full of side quests and
yeah, but
areas.
I didn't feel like the side quests were very interesting when compared with games like The Witcher, which is a game where the side quests are really interesting.
Yeah.
So
Assassin's Creed does have unique side quests though. Like all the it's not the generic side quests like we had in the first couple games.
Yeah.
In the series, but they're not all very diverse.
Yeah.
In the sense,
and
that
again,
The
I've
Witcher
only played some of them. So
Can I ask you a question about the protagonist?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Bayek.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Me and Aaron have been calling him Baguette since E3.
Yeah, I know you have, and you've been doing it
Have I?
wrong.
Yeah, I don't know if Aaron
it
remembers.
means eagle or falcon, I think.
Senu.
What?
Senu. That's the name of the eagle.
Yeah, but no, all the Assassin's Creed characters' names have something to do with eagles or birds.
Yeah, I don't know one.
So Ezio
means
means eagle, I believe, in Latin or Italian or something like that.
Maybe.
Anyway, I really like this game so far. I'm looking forward to completing it, but so far I'm not gonna put it on my list just because I haven't beaten it. I'm not that too far into the game, but I would say it's a strong contender.
What does it do to the storyline that they ruined?
What do you mean? That's
after the third
Loaded
game.
question. Loaded question.
They ruined the third.
Don't
third
please
game
don't spoil it for me.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
No, after was it 3? No, it was after the 2 series. They just killed the storyline.
Well, that was in 3, wasn't it?
It wasn't 3. You mean Desmond's? You mean Desmond's
Yeah.
story? Yeah. Well,
After Desmond comes back and kills Bayek in the game.
Yeah. So does it?
he's so stupid.
Is it like bully? Are you like an Abstergo employee? Does it even go back?
I don't know how
It's
far
pronounced
Adam
Abstergo.
is in the game, so I can't say. But I will say modern day.
There is modern
Yes,
day.
there is modern day. in this, and it's not in the same style as Black Flag.
Oh, fucking thank God.
And Rogue.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
And it's much better than Unity and Syndicate were in terms of modern day.
The modern day
So
stuff in Black Flag was horrendous.
I might want to play this. If it goes back to 3, does it go back to 3 more?
A
than the
little
other?
more. It's not as involved as 3 was, but there is.
Okay.
It's more in that style.
Cool.
There's not a lot of reference to past games either. There is reference to both Watch Dogs and the movie.
I don't know how I feel about that.
There's not a huge reference. It's just like hey, this happened over here. So it's not.
So it's in the same
And you
world.
already knew what
universe,
happened
yeah.
before this game came out anyway.
Which I didn't know until recently.
What's that?
That they were in the same universe.
Yeah.
That's cool, but I didn't know that.
So the game designer, the head guy in Black Flag, the super duper French guy, you kill him in Watch Dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You knew this before this game came out,
okay.
so it's not spoiling anything. And this game just makes reference to that.
So what do you think?
Good game, really good. It's not, in terms of open world, I haven't played too much of Horizon, but I'd say Horizon is probably a bit better in terms of just open
This
world
just
design
looks
and
fucking deadly.
quest design.
Like I
And
haven't
in-
seen
in,
anything. That's...
Probably its closest competitor right now is The Witcher 3 in terms of the game design itself, like getting new gear and leveling up.
Wow. For
Assassin's Creed.
Really?
Yeah. And I will say
I've
Witcher
heard of
3 is a far superior game at that.
okay.
But this is a great direction for Assassin's Creed, I think. And it's a really fun game. Huge world. One of the biggest
Yeah.
open worlds I think I've ever
Because
played.
I looked at the map and I looked at this area. I'm like, oh man, this is a big area. And then I zoomed out. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
oh my god.
I love the destructing environment.
What's the comparison
Yeah, it's
for
great.
world size? That's something
It
that
says
I would
the developer said it's as big as Black Flag was,
Yeah.
but it's all land.
Okay, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Black Flag was fucking big.
Yeah.
There's a lot of water.
It was a lot of water, though. Yeah, for real.
Do you get to interact with the Nile? Like,
Oh yeah.
okay,
Oh,
I like that.
There's hippopotami and crocodiles.
Mm-hmm.
I might pick it up.
Yeah, it's a good game. Really good.
It goes on for $12.
I think it's in my top list for this year as well. Definitely.
Aaron's good.
Although I will say I enjoyed both Unity and Syndicate more than it
Okay. Yeah.
in the long run.
Right, yeah. Well, you have the
Whoa.
advantage of the long run.
I'm
for
so
Unity and
confused
Syndicate.
now.
Why?
You like the shittier ones more than it?
But
They
see,
fixed
they're
Unity.
not. They're
They
not
fixed Unity.
shittier.
When did they fix Unity?
I don't know. So I said the same thing when Andrew was talking about Unity. I was like, but it's super broken, and then he informed me that they fixed it.
Yeah, I played through it this year. Unity and Syndicate both this year.
Which one came out first? Unity.
Unity is the
Unity
first
is
one,
the one in the French Revolution.
Yeah, and
Which is the best setting you could possibly have for an Assassin's Creed.
And
Yeah.
that mixed with the story of the main character make that maybe my favorite Assassin's
Oh, wow.
Creed game.
Plus, that has my favorite historical character in it.
Yeah, Napoleon.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in it a lot, but
No.
he is in it.
Well, I wouldn't expect him to be. I mean, George Washington wasn't the third one very much.
Yeah. I think, well, George Washington had more of an effect on 3 than
Well,
Napoleon
to be
does
fair,
on
Napoleon
Unity.
was only at this point an artillery commander.
Yeah, he's not a huge player. He is
he-
kind of he's a bigger player in the DLC,
Oh yeah.
but he's not actively involved.
Oh, okay.
He's
'Cause
just
at that
Napoleon kind of being an asshole in the DLC.
Yeah, because at that point he would have been in
He's-
charge
yeah.
of the army of Italy or the army of the interior, depending on when it was.
Yeah. Anyway, next up is Prey, a game I've meant to play.
I
haven't
own
played.
it. I own it, and I'm about to play it,
Only heard
and I
good
haven't
things.
played it.
Only
Yeah,
heard good things.
me too.
Well, I haven't played it.
Oh, I heard mixed things actually. I heard some people thought that the that the story's a bit generic. But I don't know. I haven't played it,
Yeah,
so
I will
I
check
wasn't
it
on my
out.
list. I wasn't like super looking forward to it.
When I'll play it, when I play it, I'll let you know what I
I'm
thought
from
of it.
Rome now.
Hey, you guys, what remains of Edith Finch?
I heard that this game was fantastic. I was able to give it to play it this year though.
You haven't played it?
I have not. No, it was on the list and didn't get a chance.
I don't
Is
even
it
know
good?
what it's about.
I don't know. I haven't played it.
I'm probably going to pick it up before the winter sale ends.
The from what I understand, the game is about your.
It's a walking sim.
It's a walking sim, but apparently, according to the people I've seen, like they said, we don't want to say too much about it, but it's not just a walking sim, but it's about it's kind of the story of this family, and that's all I understand, because people are like,
Oh, this sounds like a game Andrew's gonna fucking hate.
You really don't want to know.
I hope it's a dream in the end. Hey, Injustice 2! Anyone play it?
No. My cousin played it and said that he thought it wasn't as good as the first one.
Interesting.
Okay.
Unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Neo!
No, I haven't played it.
N-I-O-H.
No.
Looks good. Haven't played it.
I heard
It's a Dark Souls game.
I heard it's
type
on the same level as Bloodborne, which is high praise. So
Yeah.
Bloodborne was fantastic.
Mario and Rabbids. Nobody's played.
Looks good.
I heard really good things about that.
Yeah,
looks
even
good.
though
Looks
a lot
really
of people
good.
like
Even
it.
though I fucking hate rabbits,
Everyone hates
I think
Yeah,
that's
everyone- me too,
that's a
man.
For
consensus.
some reason,
as well.
Ubisoft keeps rating that Rayman is the thing, and everyone likes Rayman. They're
Rose
like,
Tico's
rabbits! We gotta
dead,
make
dude.
rabbits!
What's wrong with him?
That is Rose Tico, man.
Oh.
I want to put my fist right through this whole rotten
I don't
city.
know. She's not being pretentious and making stupid decisions, so I couldn't tell. Hey, Call of Duty World War II.
I watched Bodie play it today. It looks better. Like, it looks like something I would play.
It's an amazing looking game.
Yeah.
It's got a pretty okay campaign.
I would probably play it just because it's the setting, like the World War II setting.
Man, how sacrilegious is that?
I don't think I've been less interested in the game. To be honest.
I hate all the other fucking Modern Warfare bullshit.
You don't even Modern Warfare 1?
Oh,
That was a great game.
No, I wasn't a fan of that either. I don't care for it.
I didn't much enjoy the campaign of Battlefield 1 either.
No.
No.
I don't know. I seen him playing the multiplayer today. It looks more enjoyable. I just like the older weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
Weaponry.
I haven't played the multiplayer World War II.
My favorite part is, again, it's multiplayer, but my favorite part is when you're fighting in Nazi Germany and a black female SS trooper attacks you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god. Although it's multiplayer, so it's
And he screams,
yeah.
man, this is progressive.
And then
as he
she
gets-
opens
World
up a
War-
loot crate,
or whatever.
so,
Yeah.
and you have to watch
Yeah.
as she dances.
Is there loot crates in it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's filled to the brink.
Yeah.
In fact, there are rewards for watching people open them.
And if
Which is amazing.
Here's the thing: if Battlefront 2
Oh
hadn't
my
come out around the
fuck.
same time, I feel like this game would have been absolutely like mullered.
agree.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a
Maybe.
dragon you can fly?
No, but it is. It's like a dragon. It's actually really cool. Is that a Thunderbird?
A what?
A Thunderbird?
Oh, you mean what was over there?
Yeah.
So that's Stormbird.
Wow, there are a lot of different types of environments in this game.
Yeah. There's a lot of different
There are,
mechimals.
yeah. They,
I haven't seen it end anything that you've done yet, which is kind of crazy. Like,
No.
there's no boundaries.
What's the next game there?
It's
Andrew?
pretty big.
Uncharted: The Lost Legacy.
Didn't play it because
Didn't play
I what happened this year is I replayed all of the Uncharted games and I got to 4 and I'm like, man, that was great. Not playing The Lost Legacy when that comes out because I've been burnt out.
You haven't played Golden Abyss either,
Which one's the Golden Abyss?
the PS Vita game.
Because I don't have a PS Vita. Because I
A
don't,
true fan
I
would
don't
get a
buy
Vita.
crap consoles.
PS Vita is a good console.
It is a good console.
You can't fly that thing that just fell off the cliff, hilariously.
You can tame it.
I was just about to say you might not want to, but yeah, there it is.
Sonic Mania.
Oh,
Thomas played. No, it's not Sonic Forces. Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania is the one made by fans. That's actually like a 2D Sonic game. Thomas played it, I believe, and he said it was really, really good. He said it was just like a, if I'm remembering correctly, Thomas, and I apologize if I'm not, but he said it was just like a regular, like one of the old 2D Sonic games, you know, from the Genesis or what have you, except it was a little bit better because it has a lot of, you know, some more modern sensibilities and it's
Right,
a bit
yeah.
more polished. But the fact that it was made not by Team Sonic, but by fans, and that the Team Sonic game that came out this year was absolute garbage, shows you that Team Sonic doesn't know what they're doing anymore, and they shall be fired.
to be fair, I've seen a lot of Sonic fans who I don't think know what they're doing either. They,
There's a lot of porn. There's a lot of porn out there.
A lot of Sonic porn.
Yeah.
Damn
That's
right.
what, that's what they're working on.
The,
Sonic Mania was actually a porn game, but they just took all the porn out and said,
and it was still a better Sonic game. Than, you're right. Yeah. All right, what we got next?
Night in the Woods. Anyone play it?
That again on the list. I actually have it on my wish list for Steam Winter Sale, so I'm going to be buying it. That's whenever right before the sale ends. I know people who play it. They said it was really, really good, really great story. Similar to Oxenfree. Yeah, Aaron, if you remember that one.
Oh, is it? Do I remember it? Of course.
Yeah, he's into it, super into it.
Pretty sure that was my game of the year last year.
Yeah, so you would probably like Into the Woods.
Cool.
And again, one of those games that is really great looking visual game, but unfortunately is going to lose out because Cuphead and Horizon Existing came out this year.
Divinity Original Sin 2.
No, I played the second one.
And heard is really great.
First one is fucking badass.
Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Aaron, you've played it. You and I have both played it.
Have both played it.
I like that game. Yeah, it was good. I felt like it was a pretty good narrative about, like, the goings-ons of one's mind, essentially. Like the downward spiral into insanity. Like, what's it? Milena, forget her last name, but she totally deserved all the awards that she won at the Game Awards this year. Because it was a great performance. Great story. I think the ending was a little kind of meh.
I like the ending when that song played that I love.
It was cool. It was a cool ending. I just felt like it didn't really do the rest of the game justice.
No.
Faces. Is it Mad World?
No.
I just envisioned that.
I'm not gonna say it because you should play it.
Man, it's a
because if I spoil it for you, it won't have the same effect.
All right. I will play it. I enjoyed the bit of it I played.
I think the fact that it was like a big... It felt like a big budget release, but it wasn't.
Yeah, true that.
And the fact that it came out and there were no fucking microtransactions
and the developers
hey,
awesome too.
Pre-order this for exclusive items.
I think the most
play this 4 days early if you pre-order it.
but
only if you get the super deluxe edition.
I think the thing about this game is, even if it might not be the game of the year, I think historically, like in a few years, this game is going to be seen as being very important because of what it has done to the game industry by making, as I've been heard, that it's been called a AA game, making those viable. So games with AAA budgets and cinematics, but smaller in scale and easier to build.
Especially for the team that it's come from, I think it's probably visually one of the prettiest games this year.
Even though it looks terrible, but it's supposed to. Like, it's not a visually pleasing game.
We're both talking about Hellblade, yeah?
Yes.
Graphically, it's awesome.
Great, but like visually, it's terrible.
The art direction is...
But it's supposed to be awful looking. Like,
Adam's
that's the
trying
point.
to say it's like bleak and unpleasant looking. He doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah, I was trying to piece together what that meant.
Well, it would have been had not everyone should jump down my throat.
Well, yeah, but when it's like a rocky beach, I can't see how that's supposed to look terrible. But
what planet are you on where the biomes are so close together?
A Star Wars planet.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be bigger.
This would be an entire planet.
This is actually the Avalon Peninsula.
Yeah.
It's great. It's paradise we're living here.
And it's got a giant French fry in the sky over there.
What's the next one?
Star Wars Battlefront 2 with the picture of the first one.
Look at the French fries. Eh?
Aaron, me and Aaron have played that.
Yes.
Aaron, you go first, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to try and defend the game for all the shitty business practices that it's had. I bought the game with the intentions of playing the single player, and that's basically all I've played. And I got what I expected. It wasn't anything amazing. It definitely isn't on the same level as Horizon in terms of storytelling, but in terms of just getting that Star Wars flavor with a pretty solid shooter with very pretty visuals, I think it definitely delivered on that. It's a bit expensive for what it was. Maybe it's like a $30 experience. But
the guys working on
satisfied.
it would never accept that as an offer for payment, though.
Well, they probably would. It's just the paymasters.
I'm fairly easy to please when it comes to that. I just wanted a Star Wars game, and if you want a new Star Wars game, it was the only choice. So, and obviously that's not an excuse, but I still enjoyed what I played. It does have... It is like, and Adam will probably say in greater detail, it's a bit vague with details. Like, the details are there, but it kind of glosses over some of them in terms of the narrative. But I think it was still pretty good, so I enjoyed it. And with the episodic DLC and stuff that's coming out, that was fun too, because it led into episode 8 like the day before that came out. So I thought that was fun.
Why does this guard have his eyes closed?
It's just the mask.
Also, he's gray and stuff. Anyway, what did you
We're
think, Adam?
racist against gray people.
I thought,
Racist.
putting aside, I mean, this game was obviously the microtransactions and all the scum crap that EA pulled this year.
The scumduggery.
Yes, that EA pulled this year with this game obviously prevent it from being on my list anyway, because, and it's unfortunate that it had to be a Star Wars game that did this, but even if there wasn't all of that bullshit with the DLC or the microtransactions and the loot boxes and the grinding and what have you, this game probably still wouldn't make my top games of the year, because I didn't find the story. The story is not great. It's fine, but it's not great. The story needs to be at least another 10 hours long, I think, because there's a great story in there, but with great character moments, but they haven't earned any of the character moments. Like, at the end of the game, minor spoilers, your character has a very emotional kind of farewell to another character in the game. And I'm like, wow, this would be great if you would earn this, but they hadn't earned anything, because you never really see those characters interact outside of like maybe 1 or 2 cutscenes. So there's no emotional weight there. I feel like there should be, but there isn't. Some of the set pieces for the game are okay. Like, there's a great piece where you're in an AT-AT and you're just kind of like destroying stormtroopers and stuff and whatever. But for the most part, the story felt very generic. I didn't like playing as a lot of the heroes. They just felt, some of them felt very boring to me.
Having not played it, that's one of the things that turned me off. I think the story should have been more focused.
It should have been. You shouldn't have played as any of the heroes at all. Like, it should have just been you as Iden Versa.
Well, and it turns out that the level with Luke is almost entirely pointless, if only to
but they were
influence another character.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were the hero sections. As an outsider, felt like advertisements for stuff you have to buy later in the multiplayer.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it as that. I felt like it was trying to branch into other facets of the story later in Star Wars, particularly with Episode 8. But the thing that Luke takes from the one level you play as Luke is like a little compass thing. And in Episode 8, it's on the shelf in the background of a shot, and that's it. It's like, I thought this was maybe he's going to like give this to Rey or something.
Yeah, I thought it might have been the spoiler. I thought it might have been a minor spoiler. It's that binary transmitter thing. And that's what
something like that.
Can I ask a clarification? When does it take place? In between what episodes?
In between episode 6 and 7, but mostly right after episode 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like just preceding...
Succeeding.
Yeah, but it precedes the...
Oh, right, yeah.
The second Death Star and like the bookends of that sort of event.
I think the first episode ends with the destruction of the Death Star.
Yeah, and there's a few great moments. Like, there's a great moment where you're on an Imperial or on a Rebel ship, and you're killing the crap out of the rebels, and you hear one guy scream, "It's like, oh my god, it's just one guy, we can't stop him!" And that was great.
That is really cool.
But besides those few and far between moments, it's just a weak shooter. It's just not great. When it could have been so much more, because there is a good game in there. They didn't put the time and effort in. The multiplayer, which I played a lot of. Galactic Assault is fine. Nothing special about it. There's problems I have with it where some maps are basically impossible for one team to play, like Maz Kanata's palace on Tacoma. Is it, Aaron? Tacoma?
Dakar, I think is
no, that's the Rebel base.
I think it's Tacoma.
Anyway, I've played that map probably 20 times. The Imperials have only ever, or the First Order's only ever won once. Sweet. All the other times, the First Order can't even reach the first objective because it's so unfair. And then other times I've never seen the Rebels win on the first section of Hoth, and I've never seen the Imperials win on the second section of Hoth. Like the second objective. It's very rare, so a lot of the times it feels unbalanced.
I like that, though. That's canon, because the Rebels couldn't win the first bit, but they won the second bit.
Takadana is the name of it.
Takadana.
Tacoma.
I can remember. Sorry.
Takadama.
So a lot of the maps are cool and interesting. There's certainly a wide variety of them. I don't like the fact that you can't choose which map you're playing as, because I've been playing for 6 days or 5 days or whatever, and then all of a sudden it was like, you're now playing a Galactic Assault map on the Death Star. I'm like, there's a Death Star map? Like, I at this point, I played like 30 matches, and the Death Star hadn't come up once.
Yeah.
And I still haven't played on Camino. Apparently, there's a ground level on Camino, and I still haven't played that one. This all being said, the Starfighter stuff is excellent. The best Starfighter battles I've ever seen in a game. They're great. They handle perfectly. I wouldn't want them to change the Starfighters at all. I love them. So that definitely gets some points, but besides that, you can really give this game a skip.
So would this make your list?
No, it does not.
It'd be nice if at some point they switch all for the offline stuff. If they allow you to play all the maps and modes in single player and just be able to pick. Because as it is now, you can play solo, but you can only play 2 modes and like 5 maps. And that's like only a quarter of the stuff in the game. So it'd be nice if they add more of that stuff later.
I will say one thing in this game's favor is the fact that the DLC recently came out and is free. So I do like that. That's a point in its favor, but then that gets back to the whole microtransaction argument and whether that was paying for it or not. And blah,
it
blah,
was. Blah. The answer is it was. And it's still bullshit.
Anyway.
Hey, not Star Wars, South Park, The Fractured But Whole.
I played it, but Jordan, you get to go first.
I've played it as well.
Have you?
A little bit.
Let's go clockwise, Jordan.
It would be counterclockwise, but that's okay.
Well,
Yeah,
clockwise
I was saying
to the
it
camera.
ironically because we haven't been going in order at all.
To the camera, it's clockwise.
No.
You go ahead.
Fuck off.
What?
No.
Yeah. Clockwise, starting at you.
I think
Then Aaron.
weren't we going counterclockwise?
We're going
once we figure this
all
out, can we
wise.
at least start the podcast?
Yes.
Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, I played it. I beat it, actually. I beat it the other day. And I didn't know I'd beaten the game.
You didn't know you beat the
No.
game, but you did beat the game.
Please don't spoil it
Yeah.
for me, by the way.
Does Cartman die?
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's just like, it's one of those games where you're playing it and you're like, oh, the story's over.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
Meh.
So, not as good as first one?
No. Definitely not.
That was my first inkling as well.
Yeah.
I got 2 hours in and I was like, this is good, but it's missing what was so special about
Totally.
the Stick of Truth.
Yeah. They could literally have made the exact same game again with the superheroes, and it would have been fine. And what kind of pissed me off about it is that, like, it took them an extra year to make this game. And they didn't add anything new to it. And I wonder if that was the reasoning, like, they were like, oh, fuck, this is really bad. And that's why it took them an extra year to make it. But, I don't know, like, I got the season pass version, so maybe some DLC will kind of help. But
Did you sign up for Twitch Prime to unlock the special outfit?
No.
Should have done that.
What is it?
I don't know. Some bullshit.
I got the Assassin's Creed stuff. I don't know
Oh,
how.
sweet.
I don't know how.
Did you go through the
Oh, yeah,
Ubisoft
that's right.
Play Club and
Yeah.
unlock all your shit?
That's right. I forgot I had that.
I wish the game wouldn't
Sign
ask
up
me to
and
do that
unlock
every time
now.
I logged in. I hate Ubisoft.
Oh, god damn it.
Can I go?
Yeah, Adam.
Oh,
still
yeah,
has to
you
talk
talk.
about
Go
South
ahead.
Park. You
Yep.
find your list again.
Can I? So I'm much in the same boat as Jordan. I haven't beaten it yet, but from what I've seen so far, the game's story isn't quite as good. I mean, there's still some pretty funny parts.
Yeah.
I like the part where you're in a strip club and you're asking for a woman called Classy with an I, where the L has a dick and it's fucking the C has a dick and it's fucking the L. It's fucking the L and the ASS or something like that. I forget what it is, but it's really really funny. So still got some great South Park moments, and I just finished a section where. Yeah, the chief of police is like, oh, there's dangerous criminals and drug lords have broken into our city. You need to arrest them. And you just go around and you arrest every black guy in town. And so, like, you still have, like, great stuff. And obviously, like, with the character
the
creation.
humor is still there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Spades.
I think I've identified the problem, and it's pacing. The game is not as well paced as the Stick of Truth, whereas
No.
the story in the Stick of Truth was very tight. This one is a little less focused, and I think it hurts it for the most part because I don't know how many hours I'm into the game now, at least 10, and I've only ever fought like the other kids who are kind of like the other main point of the game twice. I've only ever seen Stan Marsh twice. So
Yeah. And another thing about it too is they put this fucking class system in it, which is like based on gender and race and like all that stuff, like just a bunch of and roots and everything. basis at all in the whole story of the game.
What do you mean?
Like
You can play as a girl now.
you can
Yeah,
play
but-
as a non-binary, or you can play as whatever you want. Like
You
it gets ridiculous. Like
You pick your gender, you pick your sexuality, you pick your race, and you pick your nationality, and they have no basis in the game. And you can pick your skin color, and the skin
Right.
color does affect everything from what I've read outside of gameplay. So apparently, different characters.
Yeah, I think that's just Cartman saying something though. I don't
is
think
it?
it's actually.
Okay. 'Cause
Doing much.
I didn't play as that. I went from middle of the road. I love the combat system in the game even more than the Stick of Truth because I love the tactics style kind of like battle map.
the only issue I found with that was that like you're fighting. You have specific moves, and like they only have like specific directions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So my character could be right next to a guy, and I couldn't attack him because my attack, like the class that I had, only had forward or like diagonal direction attacks. There
Yeah,
was
but that's poor planning on your
well,
part.
it wasn't
then.
even that. Like it was like I have 4 people on my team, and none of them had that.
I have
ability.
noticed that, but I think that's you mitigate that by choosing other characters with different move sets.
Yeah, I guess so. But like, I'd rather play as a favorable character as opposed to like, you know what I mean? Like
The
having
best character.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah,
that to me was that was a little bit like okay.
I haven't like super noticed that because I really like these kind of tactics games. So I've been like I enjoy that kind of like battle. Like okay, my character can can only attack horizontally. Therefore, I have to plan out all my moves so I'm in line with with the bad guys.
Yeah. Okay. So
It's
good game.
Yeah,
I didn't enjoy my playtime with it as much as.
No, it's not as good as Stick of Truth,
No.
but I do still say it's pretty good.
Yeah, I should power through it because maybe my opinion will change. I just like to point out that watching Aaron play this has made me really want to go back and replay this game.
Did you not play through it?
Not through it, no.
I haven't played it yet. I'm
Yeah, I haven't played it
I
yet.
always
so-
wanted
play
to.
it.
Like,
It
One
looks
of
real
one of
good,
the
though.
lead writers of New Vegas wrote this game.
oh really?
He did.
Damn.
Yeah.
What's
I forget his name. Next is For Honor. I don't think anyone here has played
nope.
it.
Nope.
Splatoon 2. Nobody's played it.
No, that was
FIFA
good.
18.
Wait, now let's just for a second go back to For Honor. Wasn't that a free to play game?
No,
No,
Didn't it become like a PlayStation Game of the Month or something?
maybe.
Couldn't have been that good.
I don't think it was because
Yes.
I would have gotten it.
Aaron, you play FIFA 18?
I have not.
Okay.
Though I played FIFA 14, and that's probably exactly the same.
Probably.
I've been told that FIFA 18 has a story mode.
Yeah, we got a whole lot to get through here. Halo Wars 2.
I played it.
Any good?
It came out this year.
Yep, February. It's not as good as the first one.
No?
years
Atriox
later.
is a great villain, but they don't. The cinematics. There's not nearly as many cinematics. There's not nearly as good of a story mode.
Is the story about the same crew as
Yep.
the first game?
It's still about the Spirit of Fire.
Yeah.
And the that crew.
Is the music as good as the first game?
I can't remember. I don't remember it being quite as good because the first game had a bloody awesome soundtrack.
Yeah, it did.
But the this one, I think it was just. I think it had like the same soundtrack, so it's fine. I didn't notice it having a bad soundtrack. Again, it's still great to play an RTS game on console and have the controls be decent.
Is Halo Wars 2 the Halo 5 to Halo 1? Or Halo 4?
Yes,
Oh no.
but it's not that bad. I mean, Halo 5 I didn't think was like it had a lot of problems. I didn't think it was like that bad of a game. That being said, Halo Wars is not as good as Halo 1 or Halo Wars 2 is not as good as Halo Wars 1. But it's still not bad. I would say miss it unless you're a big Halo fan. It's my recommendation. Not making my list.
Forza Motorsport set.
Yeah.
French.
No, you're not.
Sure he
The
is. Now
least-
he lives in the
The only other person who's
very French place of Nova Scotia.
the only person who's least French than you is me and Jordan.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
I did French.
I think Jordan speaks some French, yeah.
I did French.
Yeah, he speaks French, but he's less
I
French.
did French in elementary school before anyone else.
Aaron, how is
Enough for
Forza?
anyone else.
Well, like. Age-wise, yes.
No, I mean I also did French.
Yeah, but
Aaron-
I'm older than you.
Aaron, how was
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I would just say that one of our friends is probably way less French than all of you is. He wrote "zot" for all of the fill in the blanks on one of his French tests and somehow still got 30%.
Andrew wrote a fucking bowl, a fucking spoon on his final.
I remember sitting in
I didn't include the F word. I just said-
I remember sitting in a Tim Hortons and Aaron, or I can't remember. I know it was Jordan who was complaining to Andrew about their first year French lab.
We never went to.
And Andrew.
I didn't
looked at
even
him-
know it existed.
Yeah, Andrew looked at me and goes, "There was a lab."
Yeah. It was,
Yeah, I mean, it's a Forza game. I could probably go into depth with it just because it's kind of gotten some flack this year in the way that it kind of introduced loot boxes. Now, the previous game also had loot boxes,
Jesus fucking Christ.
but it doesn't have microtransactions. So, and they have in the past introduced microtransactions to the game, but they're very not needed, and you can actually just turn them off entirely. There's a setting in the menu to turn them off.
Microtransactions, 0 out of 10.
But Forza 7, as of right now, does not have microtransactions.
So, but you can buy cars. Am I
no,
right in saying
you
that?
cannot spend real money in this game other than buying the disc itself.
Oh,
Can
that's
I?
good.
Can I? Was the game set up to buy real money like Battlefront, where when they took out the microtransactions, it's still kind of shit?
No, again, in previous games, they've introduced systems where there is microtransactions, but so far at this point, there's not. It doesn't seem like it's scaled in a way that, oh, Jesus.
Also, when a microtransaction is equivalent to the price of the game, is it a microtransaction anymore?
Yeah, not really, but yeah.
It's an in-game purchase.
Yeah.
Macro transaction.
But
Fucking
at
horseshit.
At this point, the nothing in the game is scaled in a way that seems like it's way too expensive for you to be able to afford it normally. A lot of the loot card packs, there's mod cards in the game, for example. A couple of those packs, I think they range between 20,000, 50,000 credits. That's something you can get from one race. And in fact, every time you level up, you can get a pack of cards for free, or a car for free, or driver gear for free. So all the collectibles in the game are basically given to you for free just by playing it. And again, nothing in it seems like it's scaled in a way that seems too expensive. All the loot boxes will generally give you gear with an in-game value of whatever you spent. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's way more. Like if you were to buy a loot box that contains a car, and you say it's $100,000, you might get a car that's worth $500,000, and then you can sell it, or you might get a car that's worth $50,000. Obviously, that's the point of the gambling. But there's nothing in it that's innately locked. The game does have locked cars, but there's no way for you to get them with real money, and there's no real benefit to having more money than anyone else. So, for example,
Doesn't that kind of negate the purpose of money?
Not really. I mean, you can buy all the cars in the game apart from the locked ones with in-game currency. But the locked ones they seem like they're tied to events. So they do a thing called Forzathon where every couple of weeks they'll have 5 or 6 different tasks that you can complete, and if you can complete them, then you get the car. You get a locked car. And the tasks aren't like mundane or ridiculous or anything. It's like win a race on this track, or do 3 laps on this track, or do a race in this car.
So it's almost like the daily achievements for...
kind of.
GTA.
They're like daily objectives. They're really nothing ridiculous. And then you get locked cars for it, so then you have something special. And also every week they alternate what cars are available. So there's a specialty dealer, and every Tuesday they put up 3 new cars that are locked only. So then you can buy them from there. And then, whatever the costs they are in game. It's really no different than any of the previous games have been, apart from...
You don't know necessarily what you're unlocking.
What's that?
You don't necessarily know what you're unlocking.
Oh, you absolutely do.
Not if you're getting it through loot boxes.
Yes, but you can't get anything that's locked through a loot box. All the locked content is
Jesus.
through the Forzathon only, or the specialty dealer.
So what do you unlock through loot boxes?
Just regular cars and gear. So, like, you could get a driver's suit, or a car, or
Can
a
you
bunch
just
of
get that
stickers.
stuff with in-game money?
Yes.
Can you go to a menu and clearly see what you're unlocking and buy it?
Yes.
everything available inside of the loot boxes?
So it's like Mortal Kombat where you
The
could, like,
stickers,
take
no.
you can take a risk on stuff.
You can't get the stickers. You can only get the stickers through loot boxes, but
Was
they're
it Mortal Kombat
kind
like
of
that?
pointless anyway.
You could pay like 100 coins and you could get an unlock, or you could pay the actual price for the unlock. There's some game I played like that.
And the driver gear you can unlock just by leveling up. So
Right on.
there's nothing behind a paywall like deliberately.
It's almost like they could have just taken out the microtransactions or loot boxes altogether.
Yeah, you could pretty much take out the loot boxes. I don't really
And then
see
that
the
would give
point of them.
purpose to the in-game money.
It still has a purpose. You can just sometimes get better bang for your buck if you get a car that's worth more than you spent on. But that doesn't always happen, so it's kind of not worth your time. But the idea of having locked cars, I think, is good because it's made me go back to the game every week basically to pick up locked cars, which is nice because I think it's good for the community because it keeps people playing it. Oh man, all right, I got killed in one hit there.
So is this on your top list of this year?
I mean, it's difficult for me to pick a list because I've only played like 7 games, so they're probably all on it. But it's another Forza game. I think they improved some things. Some things got a little bit worse. There's a number of bugs that they've yet to fix, but they're not really game breaking. Some of them kind of are, but it's really just crashing and.
Why fix your bugs when you can host events for loot boxes?
Yeah, but again, there's no money involved, so it doesn't really matter. And the loot boxes aren't tied to the events. The loot boxes are available 24/7.
For now.
What's the next game?
Middle
Why are you not
Earth.
climbing up that
Middle
hill
Earth?
there?
Shadow
I
of
believe Adam
War.
played it.
Nope.
Oh.
I
I was going to play it. I was really
Right there
looking
on your
forward
right.
to this game. This is my
Yeah.
most anticipated.
Climb up
Jesus, most anticipated game of 2017 for Adam.
Yeah.
The problem is
Microtransactions.
Warner
on
Brothers
loot
came
boxes.
in and essentially, and they said, and people were like, you need to grind the shit out of this game in order to get the good ending.
Yeah,
and
so
blah, blah,
I
blah.
heard up until like the last act of the game, it's fine.
Yeah,
But in order to actually finish the game, it becomes an insane grind
yeah.
that seriously pushes you
What
to
the fuck is wrong with
to loot
people?
I have
boxes.
no idea. Especially to do it to that kind of game. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So, and it was really just because I really was looking forward to this game, but
Yeah, I was too.
anyway,
for
I'll
now,
definitely
I'm gonna
pick it up at some point.
I'm gonna
but-
wait for the inevitable Ultimate Edition
Yeah.
with all the DLC.
And I'm gonna wait for a second-hand copy of that, so I don't have to give Warner Brothers a damn cent.
What did it for me
Yeah.
was seeing the trailer where you turn Shrek over to the good side, and I was like, I'm not playing this fucking game.
I'm just an Olga.
Shrek is love, man.
Sniper Elite 4. I don't think anyone's played.
Nope.
Thimbleweed Park. No,
Don't know what that is.
that's the I
don't
forget
know
his
what
name.
that is
Ron
either.
Gilbert, the Monkey Island guy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Gilbert Grape?
Mass Effect Andromeda.
I played it.
And so did Andrew.
So did I. Yes.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Adam, you please go first.
Okay. It's been a while since I played it. I picked a lot of wrong games to play this year because a lot of the games I played weren't very good.
It wasn't difficult.
Mass Effect.
Do you regret playing Mass Effect Andromeda?
No, but I don't. I think I regret paying full price. I wouldn't pay full price for it
Yeah.
because there is a shit ton of when I played when it first came out. So I mean, I'm sure it's been fixed, but there's a shit ton of graphical issues. There's a shit ton of animation issues. The game was seemed unfinished.
Have you played it recently?
No, because
I played it recently. A lot of the animation issues have been resolved, at least in the beginning hours of the game.
Okay.
They're much better.
I liked a lot of the story, and a lot of the story I didn't like. Like most of the planets were cool. There was a lot of stuff to do, and a lot of the side missions, devolved into drive to this place, shoot these bad guys, drive to the next place, shoot these bad guys. So it felt very repetitive.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of the side characters were really good. A lot more interesting than your character, for the most part. Like, this game had, I mean, obviously nothing will ever beat, like, Garrus and Tally or a lot of the other, like, the original series side characters. But your companions were cool, too, like Drax. Great companion. And I forget the female Turian's name, but she was great, too.
Vitra.
Vitra was great. A lot of great characters, and you had some really great character moments. I think maybe if we get a sequel to this game, which we won't be, they'll be able to fix a lot of the stuff that went wrong with this game.
Yeah.
Again,
I suspect if they're gonna have a sequel to this, it's going to be like 100 years afterwards, after the galaxy's been.
Why did stuff go wrong in this game?
There are a lot of.
We don't have time to get into it.
Yeah, a lot of theories. I think what it comes down to is inexperienced developers and people in charge that probably shouldn't have been in charge.
Okay, yeah.
And a lot of people pushing agendas.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, this would probably not make my game of the year list.
Yeah.
But it
wouldn't make mine either. I will say I really enjoyed the
good music,
the Korra romance. Surprisingly.
Korra, the sorry?
No, that's
the
human.
Yeah,
the human female.
I didn't do that one. I did the sorry, I forget her name.
Yeah, no, it turned out it was cool. There are near the end of that game, once you get to know everybody.
Yeah.
Your character starts to develop a personality a little bit, and it's all right. Sometimes it gets even cool. You know?
And my favorite scene in the game, my favorite thing in the game was, I don't know if you did it, but you have a movie night with your crew.
Yeah.
And that was great.
Yeah. There are really good moments in the game, and it's unfortunately marred by some really bad moments.
Yeah. And I won't get into all like the little little lore things that don't make sense or whatever, because we don't have time. But they're there.
I wish we were getting our Turian Quarian DLC, but gonna have to read the book for that one. Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. I don't think anyone's actually played that this year. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Nope. Ukulele. Anyone played that?
Nope. I heard it wasn't very good.
Me neither.
From what I heard, everyone wants to avoid that. Get a Hat in Time.
Yeah. Little Nightmares. Don't know what that is.
I heard Little Nightmares was absolutely fantastic. One of the better horror games to come out this year.
I might play it. I've never heard of it. But...
Pyre.
I played it.
Play Pyre. Yeah.
Any good?
Yeah.
Yep. So Pyre's by the same guys who did Transistor and Bastion Supergiant Games. Which Bastion and I didn't know you guys when I played Bastion, but Transistor was my game of the year that year. Pyre is absolutely fucking fantastic. If it is tied for my favorite game of the year this year, with the other game which we haven't gotten to yet.
We haven't gotten to it yet.
Nope. I absolutely love this game.
I know
the
what
combat,
it is. F1 2017.
Oh, yeah. The combat is fast paced and dynamic. It's like playing a game. It's almost like playing like a miniature sports game. Honestly, they could have easily turned this into a competitive, online game. And it would. I think this game would have had similar success to Rocket League because it's very, very like that. It has that same kind of fast pace, easy to pick up, hard to master kind of mechanics. I'm terrible at it, but I still can appreciate it. And the story is fantastic. The visuals are fantastic. The music is the best soundtrack this year, by far. Absolutely amazing game. Absolutely loved it.
Cool. So yeah, we know how that ranks on your list.
Good word.
XCOM 2, the DLC, War of the...
No, I haven't played it.
Chosen.
Hollow Knight.
That is my other game of the year.
Oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be.
I absolutely love Hollow Knight. That is a fantastic game. It is a Metroidvania-style 2D platformer. Lovingly handcrafted, drawn sprites, great visual atmosphere, absolutely brilliant-looking game. In my mind, Pyre and Hollow Knight are the best-looking games of the year. Obviously, Cuphead and Horizon Zero Dawn exist, but they already made everybody else's list, so these are mine. The action is great, absolutely fantastic. Controls, very responsive. There's a few places where the platforming is a little bit unfair, but for the most part, it's Dark Souls in that the challenge is hard, but it's never unfair. It's not a Dark Souls game or anything like that, but it's actually I would say it's similar to Dark Souls in terms of its atmosphere. The atmosphere is absolutely astounding, where you're you're a little bug and you're not infiltrating, but you're exploring these ruins of a long lost civilization and what happened to this civilization. And a lot of most of the story is delivered via the visuals and not via dialogue, although there is dialogue there. You have to explore the game, and you have to basically kind of draw your own map. And so the game, when you discover like a rest zone, the game doesn't update your map for that. You have to actually put that on your map yourself. So it's really it's great like that because the game doesn't hold your hand. Absolutely fantastic game. Cannot recommend it highly enough.
Cool. Project Cars. Duh.
Aaron?
I believe I'm the only one who played that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good game. Better than Forza 7, better than the first game. When I had a graphics card, the VR in it was really good as well. Much more optimized than it was in the first game. Rather than it kind of being shoehorned in, it was built into it from the ground up. Really good game. I haven't really seen a car game that detailed before in terms of just literally every part of the car working properly. Like gas gauge and even like air pressure things on the dashboard and stuff like that. So for people who like me who are obsessed with the details, that game does all of it right. Not a flawless game, but probably the best car game this year.
Total War. Warhammer. 2.
I didn't get to play this game yet because I don't have a PC that can run it. But this was besides Shadow of War, this was my other really anticipated game this year. Yeah. I really like the Warhammer lore and history. I don't play the miniatures because I'm not rich. But I really like that. It's one of my favorite fantasy settings. I like it a lot more than, and you're going to hate me, but I like it a lot more than Elder Scrolls in terms of its setting. I even like it more than Lord of the Rings. And my two favorite races in the lore and from a visual perspective are the Lizardmen because they have giant dinosaurs. And
they got better names than Elder Scrolls too.
They do, yeah.
And the Tomb Kings, which are an undead army of ancient, Egyptian-like pharaohs and their soldiers and giant kind of golem scarab monsters and stuff. And they look really cool. And both those armies are in this new game. Although the Tomb Kings are coming out with an expansion. I will be playing it in 2018 when I get a gaming PC, hopefully, if everything works out. But I really wanted to play this game. But from what I heard, because there's this guy really on YouTube who played it, he said it was very, very good. Had a very interesting story, from what I hear, where there's the end game of the story is not to conquer the map, but is to basically complete. There's complex series of steps in order to complete this ritual. That every race has a different ritual or ritual thing, and if you complete those objectives, you win the campaign. And it takes 20 or 30 turns or whatever.
Okay,
it's a long campaign.
Hidden Folks. I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
Dirt.
8.
Cat.
What is with the French numbers?
You mean 4?
4.
Okay.
Yeah, Dirt 4 is good. Return to form for Codemasters. Dirt Rally was good, but it was a bit too hardcore. Dirt 4 is kind of pulling it back a little bit.
Maybe it should be called Derp.
Yep, that describes the game. It's probably the best one. My favorite was the first one, and then they kind of fucked off with 2. 3 was a little bit better. Showdown, what the hell was that? Rally was way too hardcore, and now 4 is all right, you figured it out.
The only one I played was 3, and I loved the shit out of 3.
Yeah. Well, this game, it's all the best bits that you like about Dirt, and on top of the randomly generated stages, so you don't start to memorize everything, kind of taking the purpose of Rally out of it. So you can generate stages randomly, short, long, complex, easy.
That's cool.
Does it have Land Rush? That's my favorite mode.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I don't think it's called Land Rush, but
it's called something else. They have the same idea.
Same game mode basically. So anyway, yeah, it's a good game.
Is that it for games?
No.
Not even close, probably.
The Podmaster will say when we're finished.
Okay.
Well, we are at an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, there's no way we're doing the same thing for movies. This was such a terrible idea that Andrew had.
We're gonna.
I think it's a great idea.
I like it, but it's.
After I get through this, we're gonna take a quick break for pee, and then
run down the clock on that camera. I can only film for 2 hours.
Okay. Monument Valley 2.
The
Nope.
fuck is this?
The Sexy Brutale.
I heard that was really
I heard it
good.
was good.
Okay.
Didn't play it.
F1 2017. Aaron?
Good game, better than 16, and 16 was the best one.
All right. That's it for games.
Oh, okay.
Anyone have a
Somehow
game?
missed Tekken 7 on the list.
Oh, Tekken 7 wasn't there.
Yeah, because no one actually gives a shit about Tekken games anymore, man.
How was Tekken 7, Rory?
It was the best one yet.
That's not saying anything, though.
Well, it's a very popular fighting game. It's the first Tekken ever at Evo to have more than 1,000 entrants.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a big deal because previously, the only way you pass 1,000 entrants is if you're Smash or Street Fighter. But Street Fighter has
It's not been doing well.
it's not been doing well. So, new Street Fighter sucks.
Okay.
I have 2 honorable mentions
Okay.
for this year. These are games that would have made my list for 2016, but I hadn't played them. Owlboy, which is absolutely fantastic, 2D like side scroller thing. It's really interesting. Absolutely played. Charming game. Absolutely charming. And Doom 2016,
Doom was good.
that's
which
a
is
great
absolutely
game.
fucking fantastic.
So it's funny because like I've only played one game from 2017 apparently
What have you played?
for Fractured Butthole.
Oh.
But
I'm glad we have you on the podcast.
Well,
So is that the
everything-
best game you've played of 2017?
It better
no, because
Jordan?
I played Doom. I played through a bunch, right? Like I played Doom.
be. How good is Doom?
It's deadly.
Oh my
It's
God.
fucking sick. And I played Uncharted 4.
Why is that an
I'm still
honorable
finished that.
mention?
Because it would have made my list last year had I
But you
played
haven't
it.
played
Oh.
them.
I see.
So like most of the stuff I played is about a year old now. So
So
Yeah.
of 2017, your
Fractured
game
Butthole.
of the year is Fractured
it
Butthole.
has to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although
Of 2017, it's Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight
tied
and Pyre.
with, yeah.
Which is better? Which is your better game? Which is your game of the year?
If I had to pick, I would say Pyre.
Pyre?
Oh man, that's a hard choice. It's like literally Pyre.
Pyre.
Honor-
Just because of the soundtrack. The soundtrack is a little bit better.
my mention is GTA 5's new update. That's fucking fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's my favorite DLC from the year. Is the Doomsday DLC. Doomsday update or whatever.
Obviously, my game of the year is Tekken 7.
What's your game of the
Oh
year?
yeah.
Yeah.
And, Aaron, what's your game of the year?
Oh, Horizon. DLC of the year would be the expansion for this, too.
Andrew, what's your game of the year?
Wolfenstein 2
All right, so the Pixel Junkies. I think the Pixel Junkies game of the year
is
is
all
gonna
of
have to
those.
be. It's probably gonna have to end up being Horizon because the only
Yeah.
one multiple people have
Yeah,
played.
Horizon.
I will say-
I'm fine with that.
I prefer Pyre and Shovel Knight, or just because they're not Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight.
But this is a really cracking good game. You should absolutely buy it if you have a PlayStation.
So we're gonna take a quick break.
If we have to, do we have to? Does anyone have to
It
pee?
was your idea.
Is your
I
idea?
assume someone would have to pee at this point.
No.
No.
I'm an adult. I can hold my fucking urine.
So for
I have
movies,
child's bladder.
for the movies, we're just gonna do each of our
No,
top
no, no.
lists.
We're going to stick with this.
Oh,
God
no,
damn
the
it!
fuck
Yes,
yeah.
But-
but it's
but-
gonna be it's gonna be
It's going to be short because if
Quick
we
fire.
haven't seen it, we are going to skip it.
Yeah, that
Nobody
totally
will
worked
speak
last time.
if you have not seen
No,
the movie.
Me and Adam both made lists, so I think we should stick to the list.
No, because I didn't make a list. So go shop.
I love the
shotgun.
idea of this podcast just hard cutting
You
at
can
some
just say
point.
it's on your list.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yep, it was deadly.
Okay. The Fate of the Furious.
No.
I've seen
8.
it. I'm not talking about it.
You're not
That's
talking
bodes
about it?
I
well.
don't have time.
Is
to
it
talk
shit?
About
Is it bad?
It's garbage.
Thumbs
thumbs-
up.
thumbs
We'll do
up.
thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah.
Thumbs down.
Oh
Girl-
no.
Okay.
There you
middle
go, that-
middle finger. Middle thumb. Girls Trip.
Nope.
Tanya.
Tanya.
That was good.
Thumbs up.
No.
Pirates of the Caribbean 8.
No.
Dude,
8.
I don't know what
Five.
it is.
It's 5. It's V is 5. You fucking imbecile.
Detroit. I just got Pirates here. I don't have a
Oh,
number.
Catherine Bigelow, rockin'. Move on.
It Comes at Night.
No.
The Darkest Hour.
Yeah,
Or
it does.
just Darkest Hour.
No.
It's
Atomic Blonde. Anyone see that?
No. I wanted to.
The Beguiled.
yeah. Oh shit. Fuck yeah.
Cool.
It's on a list. You guys say it was on a list.
It's not on the list.
We should have done this for games. Valerian and the City
Of Lost Planets.
of Lost Planets. It says the City of A.
It's the city of 1,000 planets, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's the City of 1,000 Planets.
City of
Aaron's
1,000
right.
Planets.
I haven't seen it yet. I heard it
Nobody's
was
seen it?
bad.
Molly's Game.
No.
T2 Train
Is
Spotting.
that like Ender's Game?
No.
No, I haven't seen it either. Okja? Okja?
Oh,
I seen that.
I
It was
forget how
alright.
it's pronounced.
It's
Yeah.
alright. Okay.
Middle thumb? Middle of the
Yeah,
road?
it's middle.
All right is the consensus.
It's a Netflix movie.
Kong Skull Island? Thumbs
Great.
Let's see it.
up. Jumanji. Welcome to the Jungle.
I wasn't
wanna
gonna
see it.
watch that.
Wonder.
I was actually hoping for
Wonder
Jumanji,
Woman?
Rock You Like a Hurricane.
No, just Wonder.
Oh no.
Yeah. What was the one I said? Jumanji Smells
What?
Like Teen Spirit?
Yeah.
It's whatever song they could get for the trailer.
Yeah. Welcome to the jungle.
Lego Batman movie.
Great.
Thumbs
Fucking
up.
funny.
Bright. I haven't seen it yet.
I'm halfway through
I
it.
didn't watch it.
I'm giving it a halfway thumb. 'cause
Halfway?
I don't know the
Kingsman 2, The Golden Circle.
Heard it was garbage.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs
Yeah.
down?
Not nearly as good as the first one. The first one was
Shitty.
absolutely brilliant. Second one is not so much.
Shitty. Did he ass bang that princess?
He did, yes. And actually, one of my favorite parts about the movie is they're now dating.
Sweet.
It's great. Like that's one of the better parts of the movie. But overall, it's not as good as the first.
Does he fill her anus with semen in the movie?
No.
Oh.
She
Thumbs
has
down.
she has a butt baby.
Yeah, some of the
Carry on.
truffle butter or whatever.
Mudbound. Speaking of butt baby.
I haven't seen it yet, but I will have seen it by the time the Oscars roll around.
Mudbound.
Mother! 'Cause
What?
there's an exclamation.
Mother, the Darren Aronofsky film.
I heard that was really good.
Logan Lucky? No. The
Logan?
Big Sick.
Do you mean Logan?
No,
Logan Lucky.
Okay.
No.
The Big Sick?
No.
It.
Yes.
Thumbs up.
Very fun.
Fuck yeah.
Cool.
2 times way up.
The Post. Good Time.
Oh my god, yes, that's on my list, by the way.
Okay. Coco.
We really should be going your way.
No kidding.
No.
I
Yeah.
heard
You can
Coco
do it
was
your way
great.
afterwards. After the post. After the.
I have a friend
That's
whose
the
opinion I trust
Podmaster.
very much, and she said that Coco was her favorite Pixar movie. So that's high praise.
Ugh.
The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Haven't seen it yet.
Would you like to talk about Good Time or any of these?
I'm gonna talk about it at the end.
Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
Volume 2.
Great.
Good.
Fucking fantastic. Watched
Yeah,
it earlier
good
today.
movie.
Yeah, I'll give that
It's on
thumbs
Netflix,
up.
huh?
Maybe not as good as the first one, but
Yeah, it
I'll
wasn't
take
as
it.
good as the first one.
Shut up.
No, it was
did
better.
I say Ghost Story?
No.
A Ghost Story.
Watched it. I was interrupted while watching it. That's why I haven't finished it.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. The what?
Were you in the theater?
No, no.
Oh,
I was,
okay.
no, God, no. I was at home.
I was gonna say the Cineplex fuck up again and put. Yeah, we went to see Star Wars just very quickly, and they fucking the first like 10 minutes of the ads were in 3D, even though it wasn't a 3D movie. Nobody had 3D
And
glasses.
they
so
switched it over.
and
But
then-
don't worry, we got to watch the same ads again.
Yeah.
The carry on.
3 billboards. Speaking of ads.
No.
No.
John Wick Chapter 2. Big thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
One thumb up.
Not
One thumb.
One thumb.
one
It was
thumb.
okay.
I'm in the same boat as Rory. It's a good movie, not as good as the first one.
It's self-indulgent as fuck. Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh,
god.
well, yeah, but
The,
so was the first one.
Not
No,
as much.
not
It
as
wasn't
much.
as bad. Yeah.
There's a
The
couple of
I'm with Rory on this
yeah.
one.
there's a few of its own fingers in its bum there.
It's
it's yeah, that's exactly right.
like it's
That's
John Wick.
exactly
It's
right.
porn. John Wick is porn, is what it is.
Yeah, it is porn. Yeah.
You can't think of it as anything other than porn.
Yeah.
Is there actually like porn in it though?
No.
No. He means it's like porn.
Jordan's like, I gotta go home and watch this movie.
No, I just wondering.
Alien Covenant. I've seen it. It's a
Yeah.
thumbs up.
Is
It's,
it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not.
It's not bad by any means. It's maybe not as.
How does
it's
it
not-
compare to Prometheus?
Me and Andrew both like
better
Prometheus,
than
so you have to bear that in mind.
That's why I'm asking.
I liked Prometheus more than.
Oh
this.
my
Oh,
god,
man,
I'm
that
gonna
doesn't-
hate this.
That
fucking
doesn't bode
movie.
well.
I like Covenant more than Prometheus.
But I
Prometheus
think
has to be the biggest
there
piece
were-
of shit
I
I've
got
ever seen
it.
in my
Oh,
life.
I fuck with Prometheus.
I understood Covenant. I
The
didn't understand Prometheus.
No. The Shape of Water.
I haven't seen it because it came out in fucking December. Stop.
It doesn't have a
releasing movies in
shape.
December,
Stop trying to be
assholes.
profound.
Star Wars.
Guillermo del Toro. I love Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, me too. The Disaster Artist.
Seen it. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
I really wanted to see that
Didn't
movie.
make the list, but really good.
But Rory didn't invite me to go see it with him, and nobody else wants to go see it with
To
me.
be fair, it was on short notice. I have to see that movie on short
Stop
notice.
seeing
You know-
movies on short notice, Rory.
Do you not know what the Disaster Artist
I can't
was?
remember what it was.
The Room.
It's the making of the room.
with James
It's like
Franco.
fictional
I
retelling.
wanted
It's not
to
a
see-
documentary.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I was gonna do something stupid. Okay, Phantom Thread.
I haven't seen it yet. I really want to see it.
Justice League. Haven't seen it.
Fuck, see it. Thumbs
Eh.
up. Jordan hasn't seen it. Bear that in mind.
You haven't seen it, Jordan?
Well,
Get
then
your
get your
thumbs
thumb down.
No, my
It's
thumbs are too-
all right.
Yeah, they're down.
The
for a reason.
Florida Project.
I haven't seen it yet. Came out too late.
War for the Planet of the
Oh,
Apes. That's another thumbs up. Good movie.
Never
Didn't
watched
get
it.
If you
see
like
that
the
one.
other ones, you'll like this one.
Haven't seen any of them yet.
Check it out.
Lady Bird.
Came out too late for me to see it. Awkward time.
Also, everyone else has fucking reviewed it and given it full fucking thumb up the ass.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it.
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Saw it.
Yep.
Thumb up.
Thumb
That's
up.
thumbs up.
Yeah, good action movie. Good, superhero.
Logan, 2 thumbs
Two
way
thumbs
up.
Actually,
Tied for my favorite movie of the year.
for like distance from comic, it was like the worst.
What, Spider-Man?
No, Logan.
Well, it's not based on comic.
I
Not
know,
really.
but it's supposed to be the old man Logan thing, and
Well,
it's
It's
loosely
taking
based.
bits and pieces.
somewhere. I don't know where the bits and pieces came from.
Yeah, but they can't have the Hulk in
I
this
know.
movie.
I just. But
I
there's,
like
no
the story that Xavier
Yeah, I
killed
think,
everyone.
No, I think that
much
was,
more than Logan killing it.
I love the movie. I just
It's
it was-
Xavier, not
Yeah,
Xavier.
yeah.
I was. Okay.
Just- it was
I was just
weird.
gonna let that fly.
Yeah.
The
Wow, you're letting mispronunciation fly, Roy. What the fuck's going on? A bit of...
I
not being
corrected
fair.
myself. Thank you.
We're in for a bad 2018 at this rate.
Baby Driver.
Wanted
Adam
to
is
see
the only person I think
thumb up, but tentatively, it's all right. You should watch it on when it comes out on Netflix. It's worth a watch, but it's weird. It's weird. It's just a
Is this
tonally. It's tonally very weird. Plot wise, very weird. There's a lot of surprises. Yeah.
Jordan, Call Me By Your Name. Have you seen it? Call Me By Your Name?
No.
I heard it was so fucking good. I can't wait to see it.
Oh. Thor Ragnarok.
Thumb
Yeah.
up. Two thumbs way up.
Good movie.
My third favorite movie of the year.
Blade Runner 2049, my favorite of the year.
Also on my list.
I haven't seen it.
I'm too shit baked to watch it.
What do you mean?
Can't watch futuristic shit anymore.
Just move on. Just move on. Don't engage. Move on.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Thumbs way up for that one, except for the final fight scene, which was absolute garbage.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Gal Gadot is my hero, though, for playing Wonder Woman. She does an amazing job, better than anyone else in their other DC roles, including, especially Henry Cavill.
Cavill. Next movie.
Quick, Get Out.
I was
on
told
my
on
list.
Rory's.
Is that the horror movie?
Get Out, yes.
I was told by Rory to not
What?
watch it yet.
I don't want to. What is it about?
Have you seen Get Out?
If you find anything about it, it really does.
Yeah, don't tell me what it's about.
Spoil a big.
Is it
portion
just
of it.
is it just a guy running?
I don't
Yep.
know. I don't know what
Hold
it's
on.
about.
So you liked it, Rory?
Yeah, I loved it.
Get Out.
The
Oh,
great setup.
Dunkirk. 2 big thumbs up.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
They did a really cool
Shout out.
music thing that I want. I haven't seen it, but they did some cool music.
Did they make a musical out of Dunkirk?
No, like
Thank
the
you,
music
God.
in it. It was like they did this
Dubstep?
effect where it basically just.
Oh,
just
yeah.
build. It just would continuously build.
Well,
I can't remember what the effects
It's called dubstep.
Hans Zimmer did the soundtrack
Yeah.
for it.
How did you feel about the
Shot.
switching between the
Oh,
widescreen
I loved
and
it.
full screen?
Once it clicked. Oh, the
Don't.
aspect ratios.
The aspect ratio change.
It's cool, yeah.
Christopher
That
Nolan
was
does that a
cool.
lot.
He
though.
does do that.
Yeah.
I noticed that back in Dark Knight Rises.
He does, but I think this is the movie where it is the most useful.
Yeah. yeah.
But
But also the I won't spoil it on account of Adam
yeah.
because he seems to want to.
Although at the same
Preserve it.
time, I know how it ends, so.
Well, yeah.
Everyone knows how it ends.
The
America
way
loses.
the way it tells the story.
Mhm, yeah. Oh,
Once-
so
once
good.
that
Yeah,
clicks,
yeah.
it's
Once
really
it cli-
cool.
and it did take a minute.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carry on.
And then the last one here, Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Tied for first for my
That
favorite
gets
movie of the
that
year.
gets 1 thumb up.
Andrew's
Like,
wrong, and he needs to get kicked off the podcast.
Great
He needs to
movie.
go home and
2
rethink
thumbs
his
up.
life.
That was deadly. It was a great Star Wars movie.
Great,
Great
absolutely.
movie.
It was a great Star Wars movie.
One of the
Don't
best.
feed into the bullshit lore, all that bullshit that
One of
goes
the-
around
What?
behind it. Fuck
Lore
that.
is not bullshit. Lore
it
makes
is.
the worlds go round.
No, it doesn't.
The,
It's a
uh,
fucking movie.
shit.
It exists in the movie.
It got nothing to do with the lore. It works fine
That's what I'm
with the
saying.
lore.
I will say I have problems with some of the lore. However, this is one of my favorite written Star Wars movies.
Fuck deadly.
It's tied for me for Empire as being the best written Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Half of it, I would agree with you. Half of the movie, I
Anyway,
absolutely.
we
agree.
don't have time.
What?
Well,
So,
we absolutely have time because now we get to
so
go
what are
talk
our
about
lists? I guess.
Greatest Showman wasn't on that list.
Great. What?
The Greatest Showman.
Well, that's why we do the lists after. So that's why we
Was it
do
good?
this thing.
Yeah.
Jordan.
My list of movies:
Mm.
Thor, Spider-Man. What else did I see? I seen something.
Yeah, I saw a lot of shit.
There's a Transformers came out this year.
No. Yes.
Is that on your top 5?
Yes, man, it was fucking sick.
All right, well,
No,
we can
it's pretty
disregard
garbage.
Jordan's list.
Anyways, no. Thor. What else did I say?
You love Star
Spider-Man,
Wars.
Homecoming. Star Wars, and I saw The Greatest Showman last night, and that was
I can't move.
that was really good. That was fucking top notch.
No.
What are you doing?
I'm leaving.
Okay.
That's good. So we can finally get this. Fucking
So
podcast
Adam's
started.
list.
No.
Keeps fucking up the goddamn fucking microphones. Anyways,
You have to time your comedic exits better.
My list this year is, I have it written down, we forgot about Ghost in the Shell. That also came out.
That came out this year?
Yep.
Yeah. It's really cool
It's on
stuff
your
in
list.
it, but it's not.
It is in the movies I've seen. But
Yeah, there's a list of movies.
I just need to
Yeah.
look around.
What's your top 5?
Number 5 is The Great Wall, which I thought was a very surprising film because it, not based on any kind of intellectual property, came out in the same year as every other film based on intellectual property. Great action. Matt Damon does a really good job in a role I didn't think he would take. You should see it. It is worth your money, although the ending is kind of shit. Number 4.
But it's racist.
What?
It's racist because Matt Damon is in it. Matt Damon.
Anyway,
What about The Last Samurai starring Tom Cruise? Was that racist?
Yes.
God, the next number 4 is Kong Skull Island, which is basically Godzilla, except not quite as good because it's King Kong, and King Kong's not quite as good as Godzilla. But there we are. It's a great movie, great action.
I think I liked Kong better than Godzilla.
Well, you're wrong. The number 3 is Wonder Woman. Absolutely great movie. The best DC movie by far.
I agree with that.
And Gal Gadot does an absolutely amazing job as Wonder Woman.
Shout out.
She's
I'd agree with that
fits
too.
the
I
part.
haven't seen it.
Gal Gadot's excellent.
Number 2 is a tie between Thor Ragnarok and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Just because they're both very tonally very the same. Although if I had to pick between the two, I would say Thor Ragnarok over Guardians of the Galaxy. And number 1, and I can't pick between the two, is a tie between Star Wars Episode 8 and Logan.
Yeah, good list.
You haven't seen Blade Runner. You'd be like, Star Wars, what the fuck is that?
The,
No, you wouldn't be. But that would be on your list too, I gotta say.
I didn't get to see Pirates. I didn't get to see Alien Covenant. Didn't get to see Blade Runner. Didn't get to see Disaster Artist. Didn't get to see Dunkirk. I didn't get to see Get Out. Those are the big ones I didn't get to see this year that I wanted to see.
Rory.
Alright, I also had top 5. So, number 5 is Good Time. Really, really good crime movie is the only way I know how to describe it.
Crime Mama?
It stars Robert Pattinson, who does a really killer job.
Really?
Yeah, excellent.
Okay.
Fucking excellent job.
By the time you made a crime
Robert
movie,
Pattinson, unfortunately, was really bad in Twilight. Twilight is bad, but he's also bad in it.
Yeah.
And likewise, Twilight is bad, but Kristen Stewart is bad in it. Now, she got her redemption a little earlier, I think, than he did. Because she was able to do... Well, Clouds of Sils Maria is like one of the... Was the best acting, I think. I gave it best acting in 2014.
I think, what was it? Spoonie said it best when he described Robert Pattinson's direction in the Twilight movies, would just take a fork, jam it into your leg for 5 minutes before we shoot, and then hold that facial expression for the majority of the shoot.
He looks to be in physical pain in Twilight.
And he probably
it's pretty
was.
Unbelievable.
Because I don't think that there's a person who hates Twilight more than Robert Pattinson.
Oh, he fucking trashes it every chance he gets.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Wonder Woman. Everything that needs to be said about Wonder Woman has been said. I love DC. I love Wonder Woman. Love Gal Gadot. All good. Number 3 is Blade Runner 2049. A really worthy sequel to one of my favorite movies.
Can I ask you, very quickly, the two of you who've seen it, was the soundtrack any good?
It was fucking amazing.
Of Dunkirk?
Blade Runner.
Oh, Blade Runner? I was spaced out.
How's the soundtrack for Blade Runner? Dunkirk!
The sound editing was better than the soundtrack.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Was the soundtrack as good as the first one? Because the first one had the
No.
The first soundtrack
I don't
holds a
watch it.
special place in my heart. I don't think even if the soundtrack was amazing, I don't think it could have topped it. The soundtrack in this wasn't bad, but there are fewer memorable songs.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Number 2 is Raw.
What's that one about?
It's about
It's our first UFC special, right?
a veterinarian, a student, a veterinary student,
Yeah.
who undergoes a pretty peculiar hazing ritual,
Oh,
and
I think I remember this.
has a strange reaction to it. It's really good. A really good lead performance by Gallus Mallier, who's a really young Parisian actress, who's only like 20 years old or something. She killed it. Watch it. It's fucking great. You all hate it except Andrew.
Again, I probably won't watch it because it doesn't sound like my type.
You
of
have to
movie.
have a good stomach to get through this movie.
I probably won't watch
yeah,
it.
like if you are at all sensitive,
What the fuck is this?
what? 2016 and Cannes, but it came out 2017. And,
Oh yeah, that really
27.
creeped me out.
The
trailer for that really creeped me out.
yeah, it's a creepy fucking movie. For a lot of my early life, I wanted to be a surgeon, and there were scenes in this that still that were still a little rocky to watch, but it was great, fucking amazing. Number one is Get Out. Just a
meant to see that. Haven't seen it.
fucking amazing.
Can we
movie.
watch that tomorrow?
Are you the hacker guy from
Maybe.
Star Wars?
Maybe we can watch it tomorrow.
I won't be here tomorrow, but
Oh.
I can get you guys a copy of it, and it is really good. Watch it, you'll love it. Just don't look up anything about it because it really fucks the movie. Jordan Peele, it's his first directing job.
Yeah.
So this for those of you who don't tune in every year, for whatever reason, aren't the hardcore PixelJunkies crowd.
It's his first feature-length direction.
Yeah, his first feature-length direction. But last year, my film of the year. Okay, sorry. The year before last year, in 2015, my film of the year was Ex Machina, which was Alex Garland's first feature-length direction. So, if you want to get on my movie of the year, you just have to be not Alejandro Iñárritu, and you have to be directing your first movie. And I was really good. The thing that struck me about this year in movies was we kind of got a pound-for-pound greatest directors, in my opinion, directing movies. We had Denis Villeneuve doing Blade Runner.
Yeah.
We had Christopher Nolan doing Dunkirk. We had Sofia Coppola doing The Beguiled. We had Darren Aronofsky doing Mother. Guillermo del Toro did The Shape of Water, which I haven't seen yet.
Still waiting for the Mountains of Madness, Guillermo. Get on it.
Really, though. The only director who I would have...
Dunwich Horror. Dunwich Horror and Shadow of Innsmouth, but Mountains of Madness. So.
No, he's been trying to get Mountains of Madness off for a while.
The only director who I would have liked to have really seen from, or the only directors I would have liked to have seen things from this year were Alex Garland and Robert Rodriguez, and they both have films next year. Because Robert Rodriguez is doing Alita, Battle Angel, and Alex Garland is doing, I forget what it's called, but you know, the one. You've seen the trailer for it. It looks really good.
Alita, I don't know.
Right.
I hope it's good. I have faith
It's
in Robert
every
Rodriguez.
Weeaboo's wet dream.
And we had
Oh, it's got a terrible name.
It's not a good name. I agree with
It's a
that.
fucking garbage name for
We
a
had a
film.
break, a wonderful, well-deserved break from David O. Russell and Iñárritu. I just and also a break from the wonderful hype machine that follows them around everywhere they go, ensuring that they get attention far beyond the quality of the movies they make. I didn't like Birdman.
Yeah, well, there
Wasn't
wasn't
that
a whole
on your
lot to
list
it, really,
last
was
year?
there?
No, fuck no. With the year with Birdman
Did you
came
not
out, it
like
didn't-
The Revenant?
Okay, I like The Revenant. I think it got way overhyped by a quite frankly mediocre performance by Leo.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But he ate meat.
Oh yeah, what an unbelievable. It's so fucking annoying. I hate it when people, and I had the same problem with Boyhood. When people are like, oh, isn't it so great?
But that took 12 years to
Yeah.
make, Lauren.
Yeah, it's like it's startling. Like Oscar for best inefficiency goes to, like it's like what?
It's like giving the Game of the Year award to Duke Nukem 3.
Exactly. Like, for real, like, I really do believe a gimmick is only good if you got something out of it.
Yeah.
What the fuck did they get out of Boyhood that they couldn't
They didn't
get
have to
from
recast a slightly older kid.
Yeah, like, couldn't they have just
Yeah.
done a recast? It's dumb as shit.
We're cutting into Star Wars time here.
Oh, yes, that's true. We should talk about Star Wars.
Well, first it's my list, and then it's Aaron's
Oh, Jesus,
list.
I didn't know. Aaron said he didn't have a list.
Oh.
But
He must have had a favorite film though. Aaron?
Yeah,
that's
I didn't bother making a list because I didn't see enough diversity in film to.
But out of
Have it
out of
be-
all your Star Wars and Marvel needs, which was your favorite this year?
I think Episode 8 would be my favorite movie that I've seen this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I followed closely by Thor. I would say I enjoyed Thor a lot.
Cool.
Um,
Mine was Blade Runner, by far.
Do you have a list or?
No,
Just
it's just
movie?
Blade Runner and Logan.
Okay, yeah.
They were in my top. Nothing even came close to those this year.
can I just say before we get on to Star Wars that I have an album of the year. I listened to a lot of different albums this year. Cole's new album, Lord, sorry, not Lore. Lord's.
Boo.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Lord?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lorde.
Yeah.
Do
Do you like Lord?
I liked the first album that she made. It was really good. This one wasn't as great. Oh Wonder had a great album. Paramore had a great album. However, my favorite album of the year and one of my favorite albums ever is Ragabone Man's Human.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is one of the few albums I've ever listened to where I like every song, and every song is brilliant. Like it's up there with like.
You only like that because of Mass Effect.
No, actually, I was listening to that album before Mass Effect came out and before there was in that trailer. For me, it's as good an album as Master of Puppets and Gordon from
Cool.
Bare Naked Ladies. So
I'll
we're absolutely.
have to check it out.
And his musical stylings range from like very slow kind of melodic ballads to upbeat pop stuff to more industrial kind of alternative stuff. It's really, really diverse album, really great. Ragabone Man is an absolutely fantastic singer. Check out the album.
Okay, in the interest of a 2-hour podcast, I did have another category, but we can forego that for Star Wars. It's up to you.
What was the
guys.
category?
What was it?
Biggest dumpster fire of the year?
Oh.
Those are always fun.
We can talk about Star Wars next week, can't we?
Yeah, I would rather do bigger dumpster fire of the year because so many people have talked about Star Wars at length.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd still like to know what Andrew thinks about it, though. I mean, I guess he could be on the podcast next week as well. But
I can join next
be
week,
via Discord.
but I can
Yeah.
quickly say that Star Wars Episode 8 was it was half of a surprisingly excellent film coupled with an unsurprisingly bad film. Half of one. That's what I say.
Okay.
That's my opinion. Half of it was the best of Star Wars, and it was the worst of Star Wars.
You're not Dickens. Don't pretend to be.
It was the best of the Rey.
Anyway,
The
the
Rey and
dumpster-
Kylo stuff was
Okay.
10 out of 10
amazing.
stuff. I agree,
Yeah.
100%.
So half of Star Wars was the biggest dumpster fire, and there we go.
The Rey and Kylo stuff was amazing. The everything else was not.
What about the homage?
What homage?
You know. Like at the end there.
There's no spoilers. We've all seen it. What's the...
Yeah, but
What homage? You mean Yoda?
No. Like the...
What's the
The
homage?
twin
Man,
sunset?
Yeah.
Andrew, did you not stick around for when they had a slideshow to
They
Enya or
played.
whatever?
They played Under Pressure, and they showed all the different characters like, hanging out. Ding.
You mean the twin sunset as Luke dies
Yeah.
for some reason? Yeah, no.
Brilliant.
That was all right.
I think we're going... I think the word is fan service.
That was fan service. Yeah.
I think Luke. We don't really have time to get into it. I said before, brilliant film. Love the writing. Some parts could be cut out to make it tighter, but at the same time,
Some
absolutely
parts,
brilliant.
half the movie.
No,
I thought it was fine.
some parts could be cut out.
I thought it was fine.
I liked it as well.
I liked the movie. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the film,
I just don't understand.
but it's
lines.
not. It's like above Attack of the Clones,
Oh.
and that's everything else is above
Ooh.
that. Because half the movie is seriously not good, in my
You didn't
opinion.
like Attack of the Clones?
Attack of the Clones was the worst Star Wars movie.
Phantom Menace was the worst.
Nope.
No,
I
episode
love
two.
Phantom Menace way more than Attack of the Clones. I liked all the prequels, but...
Episode 2 is by far the worst. Of
Episode
them all.
2 is legit not a good movie. The Last Jedi is legit some of the best Star Wars ever, but also a not good movie.
I'm totally fine with the bits that you're referring to, though. So
Let's So what is your biggest dumpster fire of the year, Andrew? What really fucked up?
It's hard not to say net neutrality.
I forgot about that. Thank you for bringing it up.
It's hard not to say net neutrality, but...
Can I interrupt?
Yep.
I have another small dumpster fire that you might not be aware of.
Yep.
Actually, no, you keep going. I don't even want to bring it up. I don't even want to think about it. Keep going. Net neutrality.
In the interest of games, I'm going to say the entirety of the Battlefront 2 disaster.
Yeah, that was pretty big.
See, I would agree, but I disagree because other games are doing the exact same thing. And
Yes,
they're not
but Battlefront 2, I'm not talking about like the worst thing that happened. I'm talking about
Okay, a PR disaster or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
the biggest
Yeah, because
flaming pile of shit.
They were feisty assholes about the whole fucking thing. They're on Twitter being like, fuck you guys. I cannot stand it.
Yeah, I
It's
remember
like,
that.
You
Oh, Jesus.
You are serving your fucking customers a steaming, heaping pile of shit, and you're making fun of them for it.
Well, the game was fine, Jordan. Everything in the game worked fine. It was just the business model.
That's what I'm saying. The business
Yeah,
model
but the game wasn't broken.
Yes, it's broken because it's got a 4-hour fucking storyline in it.
But that's not broken as a technical.
No, broken is a fucking.
So what?
game
How
that
is it
doesn't
a
make
steaming
sense.
pile of shit?
$100 4-hour game.
There you go. That's what I'm
How's
saying.
it a
That's
steaming
broken.
pile of shit, though?
What?
You said it was a steaming pile of shit.
Because
They said the same thing about Justice League. He hasn't seen it.
Exactly.
Bear that in mind.
Justice League sucks.
I don't know why I
Because
indulge
DC
him, but
is-
anyway.
DC, that's my dumpster fire for the year. Fucking Wonder Woman was great, and then they
Dumpster
were
fire
like,
of the decade.
shit, every movie we've ever made has been garbage, except for this one. For the fucking DC universe.
That's like, okay, whatever. The negative reaction to the DC movies has been largely overblown. In terms of if you actually look at like percentages and people who've rated the movies, it's pretty startling.
I think it's just become a thing now to hate.
I think
on
it's become
DC
a meme.
movies. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be like Justice League.
I
Wasn't
mean,
bad.
some of it is warranted.
Yeah, but it
There's
wasn't good.
lots of warranted criticisms.
But yeah.
It's totally a meme. right.
So Aaron, what's your biggest dumpster fire of the year?
Oh, without saying net neutrality and all the stuff that's gone on with that
I
stuff.
think we should all agree that net neutrality
Yeah, I
was
think
the
we can all
biggest
agree.
dumpster.
And we're not even
fire.
American.
And Donald Trump.
Well,
Dumpster
see, that
fire.
was
Together.
that was a 2016 mistake.
Yeah.
Well,
Still-
It was a dumpster
She's
fire
commenting
that
about
started in
global warming
2016 and has continued
Yeah.
through 2017. So Donald Trump and net neutrality, we'll take those two and put them off to the side into their own giant pile of flaming shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't. I'm sure there's a bunch of things that have happened, but I can't think of them at the moment. So, like,
What about the Bungie stuff?
what
The
Bungie
Destiny
stuff?
2 Bungie stuff.
I don't know. I don't think that really made enough of a presence to me, at least in the media, to be something that really stood out.
I think Bungie's continued attempts at manipulation, like they got caught and they're like, "Oh, right. Oh, how did that happen?" And then they fixed it. And then like a week later, "Hey Bungie, why are you doing this other thing that's manipulating customers?" "Oh, how did that happen again?" "Oh, sorry, we'll fix that."
Yeah.
And then like a week after, "Hey Bungie, you're still doing this shit, but differently." "Oh, right. We'll work hard to provide you the best experience."
Everyone's
fix
doing
it.
that shit. Apple
Yeah.
did the same thing. They're offering you $30 replacement batteries.
Wow.
They're,
Thanks, Apple.
They're like, oh, this battery that normally costs $100, it only costs you guys $30 now, so you can have a phone that works forever.
Yeah, I mean that's probably
fucking
like it's
stupid.
not
Is that
a
your,
specific individual for
Fire of the
me.
year?
No, my dumpster fire is fucking everything else, man. This whole goddamn universe is fucking...
Well, I think a lot of the stuff that's sort of been exposed from different corporations over the past year, not necessarily by one individual, but the EA stuff, the Bungie stuff that Andrew's talking about, Apple. Like, it seems like we've gotten a lot of stuff disclosed that normally goes on behind the scenes and we
Yeah.
never find out about
People are
this
done
year.
with bullshit, and not like I knew that fucking 2 years ago. I could see that fucking shit coming, man. People are just like, oh yeah, I'm a consumer, and then they were like, hold the fuck up, yeah, I'm still a consumer, but what? You been fucking sticking your dick in my ass every night? I didn't even fucking realize that shit was going on.
While true, I doubt people, for the most part, are going to end up successfully doing anything.
No, but
about
they
it.
realize now. So
Oh, they definitely realize, 100%.
They're going to talk about it on podcasts and
That's
fucking,
true. That's,
you know, like,
I agree 100%. Yeah.
Take that, U.S. people.
take this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you can go first.
I didn't know. I don't know what I was doing. You go.
Okay. My biggest dumpster fire of the year. One came. I don't want to make it political, but
We've already done that.
yeah. Again, like putting aside Donald Trump, because apparently they've just
Something really obscure, I'm sure.
Israel has just announced that they're going to be building a Donald Trump train station in Jerusalem, in thanks for building for him moving the embassy to
Jerusalem?
to Jerusalem. Thank you. So that's a big and it's going to be right next to the West Wall, so that's kind of a big pain in the ass. Putting that aside,
But it's a train station, right? They're probably going to build it anyways. And
Yeah.
they're just going to say Donald Trump on it instead of saying
but that's
train
why
station.
he moved. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. But the because it's I don't want to anyway. Shadow of War, because I was really looking forward to that game, and all the bullshit microtransactions went in that, or the absolute ruination of Mass Effect Andromeda, which could have been a good game, had not. And a lot of it is, and I wasn't. There was some.
I would argue it's still a good game, just it's not a good Mass Effect game. It's not where it should be at all.
Anyway, Roy, what was your biggest dumpster fire of the year? Well, we have 10 minutes left, so.
I don't
probably
know.
less than that.
Or less than that, because that camera's going to run out of batteries. I don't really have one. I actually really liked this year. It was a really kick-ass year for movies. I didn't get to play most of the games that came out this year, but it was a kick-ass year for games from everything I heard. And it was a kick-ass year for TV, and those are really the only things in the world I actually give a shit about. So, yeah.
All right, well, I think that ends our year in the review roundup. I think everyone can admit that we had a really good year for movies and games, really shit year
for everything else.
Everything else, obviously net neutrality was a blow. We had a lot of big controversies come out surrounding video games and movies. For Disney buying Fox,
right?
A lot of people didn't like that. Right. However, we can look forward to 2018. There's a lot of great stuff coming out in 2018. We have Civil War. Dark Phoenix, we have Black Panther, we have some great games coming out. We have God of War, for me, is up there.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead Redemption 2, for
Vampire.
Microtransactions.
Jurassic
Get
Park
your
Evolution.
rancher points.
Yeah, that looks good as well. But anyway, I think we have to sign off now because I'm
Get your bags
genuinely
with
concerned about
dollars
that
on
camera.
them.
Long-ass podcast, but it was a good podcast.
Thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see everybody in the new year.
Don't worry, we're never doing this again for the year in review.
Also,
no, I think this was efficient.
I think
the last thing it was efficient.
I think it would have worked fine if we actually did skip the games.
Just fade out.
Well, if you somehow made it this far in the podcast, we'll probably be taking a couple of weeks off from videos, except maybe podcasts, while I get my computer sorted out.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
This is the graphics card.
Yeah. We say bye to the Titan.
Yeah.
We'll be doing a Viking funeral for it in a few weeks.
Why did the First Order arc their cannons in space to hit the ship?
Why didn't they jump in front of them?
Yeah, you can.
Why didn't they hyperspace
in front of them? Yeah, I know.
It's apparently established that you can just destroy ships now.